Welcome back, Exiles, to another exciting morning of Path of Exile esports. We are back with Race 2 in Season 2 with Dawn of the Hunt's racing season, which has been wild, it's been raw, it's been iridescent, ever-changing. It has been certainly a big meta shift from the first season and a huge time improvement with our first races ending with like 4 to 6 hour range. I think it took everyone, the entire kind of field to end up. And then last week we had like our slowest winners being 2 hours and 24, so under 2.5 hours, with our fastest actually getting under 2 hours, including, of course, Angormus, who did win the last race overall on the Warrior. And I'm joined here by RaizQT once again for some more casting action for you fine folks today. So how you going this morning, Raz? Or
Hey
night for
Ziggy,
you?
I wish I could say that it's morning, but it being 10 p.m. in Europe, all of us are tired, but we're here to play, and well, I'm here to cast, but most of the Europeans are here to play, and yeah, some of the things that you were mentioning were really interesting when it comes to the finishes, because despite the fact that we had a lot of people really speeding up, there's still a lot of people participating in this race that don't have those top times, but are still looking to play, looking to improve. And looking at the ladder, we had about 100 finishes last time, and some of them being 7 hours and 54 minutes, many in the 6 hour range. So it's cool to see so many people not just looking to compete for the rank 1 spot and getting that demi, but also just having a little bit of fun, just enjoying some Path of Exile and maybe looking to get a little bit more competitive in the future. Really cool stuff.
And not only that, we have actual newcomers just coming out of nowhere and taking top spots. So we had
Yeah.
like Bagel Goose on the Ranger, which took, I believe, #1 Ranger. Yeah, #1 Ranger with a time of 2:14, and Shakar Coach as well, which had a pretty notable run and seemed very enthusiastic and exciting. It was a pretty
That's
interesting
my guy.
character to. Yeah, I know you were pretty enthused
I love
about
that guy.
them looking around the chair and things like that last time. I do enjoy some of the more expressive races. You can kind of
When
read
I
how their race is going on their face, right?
when I see a player wiggle their chair like that, really getting excited during a boss fight, I can't help but just get with it. You were saying a lot of the races were very raw. This guy is a real
Yes.
raw video gamer, and I appreciate that. I love those types of people.
Yeah, those are some of the moments that stick with you as well. Some of those like really those dramatic moments, the people being real sad and then having the next race and then finally getting that win. And definitely had a few of those moments last season. So looking forward to getting some more of those this
True.
season. But I love the Path of Exile racing action, the dramatic moments, the fails, the epic wins. We're gonna
And
go over to the mark here as well, so we'll swap over because it's about start time. But continue, Rise.
oh, we're already here. Oh wow, okay. I was gonna
Yeah, I
yap
know.
about how the
Keep
sorrow
yapping.
of silver is one of those things that really gives people power. The legendary Tie23 was one of those
Absolutely.
players that
Yes.
suffered that sorrow of silver for quite a while. Getting called the easy scrub core man, only to then destroy everybody for ever after. So
It
maybe
can
you
be a
gotta
powerful
lose some of
motivator.
them to win. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's how legends are born, right? I mean, even Angormus, our absolutely dominant warrior player from last season and this season, so far yet to be dethroned across 4 races. Even he was one of those people back in Path of Exile 1 days. He was an aspiring racer back in the day.
True.
Getting called, just getting saying, oh, yeah, not a bad effort. Not a bad effort, I guess. Keep trying. Maybe you'll be good one day.
And
Well,
he's
day is
improving
here.
too.
Yeah,
He's not
absolutely.
just
He's
winning,
been
he's
practicing a
improving
lot.
every week.
Yep. He's practicing non-stop. I was checking in with him just this morning and yesterday. And his fastest time he's averaging 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is just insane. His fastest was a 141, I believe. We are off as well. Our races are off the mark and clicking and shanking those zombies. So let us begin another
Holy.
exciting race here for some Path of Exile 2 racing action. Oh, Rice, can
Yeah.
you give us a little bit of an introduction for any newcomers who maybe have stumbled in here and being like, what's this? What are they doing? What's Pee-wee
So these
Racing
guys
about,
are
mate?
just trying to get through the current campaign as quickly as possible. Although this is a class race, so you're going to see quite the variety in the different classes that players are playing. And I would love to say that there's a variety in the approach, which, you know, PoE is typically known for. But in this race in particular, in the current patch, that variety is nearly non-existent, as Stomping
No,
Grounds
I
Rake is
I
primarily what we're going to
highly
be seeing.
disagree. I
Okay,
highly
okay.
disagree. Yes.
Hit me with
Okay, so
hot take.
early Act
Okay.
1, highly diverse, right? We've got people doing Frostbomb
Until level
crossbow
6.
builds.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. And then yes,
And
they
then
all
Rake.
rake Stomping Ground for you know, an act and a half. Okay, yes,
Okay.
I'll pay
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But then
I
Act
see it.
3, we've got like one person using Rake Stomping Ground. We've got a bunch of people doing Perfect Strike. We've got people on Infernalist. We've got even like certain classes not even deciding if they want to ascend or not. Like we've got Ranger versus
True.
Pathfinder from Bagel Goose and Limes. Like we don't know what people are going to do. It's probably going to be different this week. Not to mention that was just one race where that was like everyone was playing Rake for a bit. What about the first season? It was completely different and lots of different things. And
True,
next
true, true.
season, I'm pretty sure Stomping Ground is not going to be a thing next season. So enjoy it while it lasts, I guess.
Wait a minute. Is that an insider look into the next patch? Holy.
Oh
You
my
guys heard it
lord.
here
Sarge
first.
2 and Angormus with the simultaneous kills. Watching the drops. We get early spear for Sarge 2, so he's set and ready to go. Set and ready to go. Identifying some loot. Keeping an eye out for any interesting drops here. Ooh, get a nice magic spear for Shikar, it looks like. Bit of lightning damage
Nice.
and maybe life on kill or something. Helping out.
Yeah, and you can see on Gormus's screen that he's really struggling to find that spear. And these guys are going to be picking up just about everything from the first boss, trying to get as much gold as possible, and making sure that they have access to a spear so that they can start using their movement abilities as quickly as possible. As disengage is not just fun to use, but also quite the
So good.
propellant. Is that a word? It makes you go faster.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Sarge 2
does that
kind of
work?
finding the elbow here and getting a little bit stuck, but managing to navigate with some sweet disengage
Nice.
action through those wolf packs and picking up the camp. The camp is very important there for that early extra support, that extra gem, sorry, cut gem so that you can get the frost bomb action. I love it. Look, frost bomb, spear, disengage with a crossbow on their back.
Okay.
Cool, right?
I mean,
That's cool.
I like it. That's kind of what Monk has been known for. Again, these races, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of raking and whatnot, but especially on Monk, we've seen such a variety of skills. People, including Essence Drain and Contagion, and even minions, and yeah, like the previously mentioned Frost Bomb. But for this first boss, Bira, most of these players are looking to get her in a nice spot, utilize some kind of AoE ability on the ads, and just auto attack the bejesus out of her, as it does tend to inflict the highest amount of damage, with some setups even going as far as adding support gems to their auto attacks with Conk Effect and whatnot.
So he had a pretty
Angormus.
clean Beer of the Rod pack kill for Angormus and then checkpointing. But really interestingly, Alex Pleblord, I don't think did Beer at all, just skipped
I'm
and has
seeing
gone
it.
straight. Yeah, and he's
Same for
already on
Shakal.
Arigney. Yeah, which is wild because Arigney last week proved to be a killer of players. Like she was
Oh
really
my,
rough.
speaking of.
I feel like we're getting a repeat of last week here. I'm very scared. Imagine going there so underleveled without like all the setup and ready to go. I'm very nervous for Alex right here. But the crossbow, the frost bombs, the positioning, navigating those AoE explosions, and the breath attack, that was perfectly dodged there. And ooh, she gets a cheeky little teleport. She's nasty, right? He gets it
Last
down.
flask.
Very nicely done, Alex Weblord. Meanwhile, Shakar Coach is still taking on there with a bit of spear frostbomb action. So we've got some spear pokes. We've got some frost bombs. Oh, I don't know. It's not going very well.
This
We're
is
gonna
so
watch the
sketchy.
explosion. It's so sketchy.
I don't know what happened. Why is this boss so insane all of a sudden? I remember that interview with
Season,
Jonathan
right?
where he was like, "Oh yeah, these wolves are too quick." Why did nobody talk about this boss? She's ridiculous. And Gorma's dropping low. I mean,
And
it's just too much.
it's interesting to note that there it does seem to be a bit of difference between, so like everyone's on the same seed, right? That's the thing about these races, is like the map layouts are all the same and the seed even affects monster spawns, but I don't think it affects rare monster affixes. And Arigney, despite being kind of a unique monster, has rare monster affixes that are randomized. So Angormus
Yep.
has got lightning mirages, whereas the other players didn't necessarily have that same thing. Some people had like
Oh,
the
Shakal,
frost explosion.
no!
Oh, did we
With the
just suffer our first
disastrous
death?
rip.
Chicago coach, one of our newcomers, very emotive there, suffering a very unfortunate upset. And Arigney gave us a lot of action last week, and once again this week.
No,
Even Angormus did he just flee? I think he just fled.
Production quickly moved Shackle Coach
Production.
away from us as there is a 1 minute death penalty for anybody wondering. It's not just that they're kicked out of the race immediately, as they are kicked out of the stream by our production.
Yes.
Thank you, production. But
Merciless.
it's a 1 minute penalty. It's a 1 minute penalty. They have to sit around for 1 minute.
Yes. If they die, they are locked in place for a minute, which can just be brutal. Angormus did indeed have to retreat and may have to retreat again. Angormus, our nearly infallible warrior player.
Oh, wow, he has to reset. He has to go to the well. I mean, a huge look of concern on his face, too, as we switch over to Wormgod in the bottom right, who's already progressed to the Rusking waypoint. And Alex Pleblord already looking to get through his red veil. Wow, Angormus. I mean, we've seen people get ahead of him in Act 1, but never to such a significant degree as we're seeing here.
And not so much recently. Like, that was definitely the thing early on, that other people had stronger Act 1s, but he was just so much better in Act 2 and 3. But yeah. I feel like last week he was dominant right from the beginning. But this time, look at Alex is just flying, zooming, and Angormus is on his third reset against Arigney. Eyes wide, looking beads of sweat forming on the brow for sure. She is just brutal. So he reset and got different modifiers, actually. That time it was the 5 volatiles, and that was a much faster kill. It's like a nice crit on the default attacks there. Much better. We have action replay of the suffering. Good job, production. Let's go. She's
this is pain.
An endless source of entertainment, this rare. Look, he was so close too. The wolves come in. They're a little bit of a distraction. He's navigating this well. Like, I'm surprised this goes badly for him. He eats that explosion and then just a massive swipe. That was like the explosion down half and the swipe the other half was a crit.
Why does that hurt so bad? I mean, we've seen that teleport hit Angormus for 80% of his life. I mean, this might be a bit overtuned. Hello?
Wow, I love it. Don't change. No notes.
I do like it. I gotta say, I mean, as much as I'm, trying to make the game fair over here, I don't want to make it fair. I want people to rip.
It's perfectly balanced because, like, she's so brutal, she's so risky, and yet all of the races are doing it because she gives a support gem, like, immediately after you get your first one. So you go from having 1 support gem to 2 support gems right away, which is just massive. Huge. Like, it's important, super important with, like, the strategy that people are adopting now. And now we do see people transitioning into the disengage stomping ground, which I think is possibly my favorite part of the race, because it's just something so beautiful about disengage stomping ground. Like, rake stomping ground's better later on, but disengage stomping ground.
Look at this strategy though from Alex. He doesn't quite have access to the rake yet, so he has stomping ground linked to his disengage, and all that he's doing is he's trying to position himself in a way where the disengage hits the boss twice, and he's just disengaging around them, as that is the most damage that he can do in the simultaneously safest way. So it's pretty interesting.
And then you just backflip over the Rust King, basically. You go stomp, backflip, stomp. It's so cool. And they get to use it for maneuverability. They get to use it for repositioning. They use it for damage. It looks so interesting. We get like really crazy movement out of this meta with the addition of the new spears. Just affecting the race so much because of being such a fast skill, and then of course Stomping Ground being such a powerful support gem. So if you don't know, Stomping Ground is a support gem. It links to any skill that has movement components to it, takes steps effectively, and it does a pulse of damage every step, kind of. And that damage is based on your strength. So we'll see even witches linking Stomping Grounds to things like Rake or Disengage that take several steps. And that does several pulses of damage based on their strength, and they'll get as much strength as they can from gear. And of course, no matter the class, you can get strength from those little nodes where you can choose what attribute you get. So, you know, you just, instead of putting int in there, you just put strength on there. And it proves to be a very good Act 1 through Act 2 progression set of skills and support gem there. Super powerful.
Alex forgetting to do a little bit of discussing in the town with some of the NPCs having to go back, but still it's really cool to see all of our players pretty much utilizing the checkpoint skip for one of the NPC songs. Most of you guys probably waiting for that animation, listening to the beautiful music, really getting immersed in the video game. Nah, none of that for these guys. Using the checkpoint skip to get as far and as ahead of Angormus as they can. And Alex is doing a pretty good job at that. I mean, Worm is also ahead. Sarge still staying in there. Our player who has pretty much won every single monk race up until now, and you can see how funny those skill trees look as well. The players are just picking up strength. I mean,
we're trialing some new improvements to the race commentary and spectating and production for you fine folks this time. So we'll try and keep the top 2 players overall up the top, so you can have a bit of an idea just at a glance at kind of where people are at. So Angormus and Warrior right now kind of are up there, but not necessarily, because Worm has currently taken the lead over Angormus, and I never thought
get Angormus out of here. Put him in the bottom right. Put him in the bottom left. Come on, Sarge.
For Angormus, good heavens!
The disrespect.
I never thought I'd see the day. Oh,
I love it.
Wow, what a race already, proving to just defy all expectations here. Angormus, oh man, I love those backflips. Just
defy all expectations, Ziggy.
I defy all, right? This is 2 words. Huh? Defy all. And well, my expectations have been thoroughly defiled here. So
I mean, I love it. This is my kind of commentary, Ziggy. You're really getting with the program here.
Extra spicy commentary for us today as well. Checking to see if Angormus is getting any bossing boots. He got some nice a bossing chest piece, which you'll notice players unequipping their chest piece or having none equipped quite often. And that is because there is a small move speed penalty on chest pieces, and players will take them off as they run through town, for example, so that they get a small boost. And they might have one that they only put it on for a boss fight or something like that. Otherwise, they run around. Even though nowadays they're mostly like backflipping and rolling, as you see.
Yeah, and also, in addition to what we were talking about earlier, when we say the player who is furthest ahead, we're primarily talking about progression. So if you're looking at the ladder and you're thinking to yourself, oh, this guy is higher level than another guy, that is another way of tracking where the progression is, as there will be zones where some of our players will just need to hang around and farm some XP to catch up. So even if they get there first, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be the first people to exit that zone. But we do also have tools for tracking players out of stream, so in-game, and where they are and all these sort of things. So hopefully that's going to make for a more informed race for us and also for you guys.
I just want to point out, so Worm here is kind of like, I feel like a relative newcomer. I'm not super familiar with them, and they're on the Huntress, which is a new class this time around, which means a new kind of field of competition. And despite like Spears being so dominant, Huntress was not a dominant class last time. They were middle of the pack. But Worm right now is doing very well on Huntress, and I look at what they're doing. They're using Whirling Slash in between movements to create those explosions. And I even taking the chest piece off now while since they're not running right now, actually doing this in combat. That's practiced, confident cursor work.
That's the way to do it. Yeah. And it goes even further than you think, Ziggy, because Arco was actually the first person on a Huntress to enter the cemetery overall, with Worm only being third. So we have another Huntress who is popping off. Arco, another player who we've seen in the other races, performed really well, swapping classes multiple times. So it's really interesting to see him yet on another class, I believe, and doing really well. Let me just make sure that he wasn't playing. I think he might have been playing Huntress last week, but then, yeah, he was. But then, and he was rank 1 Huntress, actually, as a matter of fact, with Joy Boy being second with only 2 minutes behind them. So possibly some XP penalty, some sitting around coming into play. Some of our players have been saying that they want these races, especially Angormus has been voicing how these players should be hardcore and it would be better if it was hardcore. And honestly, we kind of thought that it would be a little bit too punishing and a little bit too extreme. But maybe for the future, hardcore is going to be the way. But as the races keep getting more and more competitive, we do see how that XP penalty, how that rip penalty comes into play with, yeah, everybody's time just getting so much closer to each other as players continue to practice.
So moving into the Tomb of the Consort and the Mausoleum of the Praetor, with Worm and Alex in either one right now. There's some open opportunities for that. Previously, there was different strategies about which one you went in first, but the current strategy is actually something that we did see from Angormus last time, which was that you open both of them to make them level 9, and then kill the bosses so that they're a little bit higher level, with the power of Rake Stomping Grounds being transitioned into now. Now that we have that Rake available, you are so powerful all of a sudden that you can actually come in here and just farm XP from both of these, so making them both as high level as possible, because the levels kind of determined. Levels with various zones where you have a bit of freedom in choice is a bit interesting in how they're determined. Oh, we got bossing boots from Worm. Look at the bossing boot swap.
Here we go. A big boss coming up, Asinia, I believe. A lot of dodging going on in this fight, but a lot of room for really min-maxing your DPS output. The Rake doing a lot of damage, but we're going to be seeing bigger numbers in the future. Right now, the bleed is definitely helping out, something that will be kind of negligible damage in the future, only helping with clear a little bit. Will he be clearing any of the ghosts? No, he's fully committing to killing the boss.
Just
Might
full
get...
DPS. Actually,
Ooh,
just sent it.
nice.
Like, that was amazing. Yeah, we had like a little bit of dodging at the start there to get the right position going, but that was very smooth. Alex on there, Draven having a pretty good run here as well. Oh, that was
Nice
good movement. That was
Wow.
really nice. Yeah, using the Rake to teleport with the dodge roll to animation cancel right out of it. That was really, really nice. And a smooth kill there as well. And some rewarded with a pair of rare boots. Let's see if I get a chance to see what those look like. Picking up some scrolls. Ooh, it looks like some bossing boots. They have strength on them. Oh, nice.
Yeah, definitely
useful.
useful.
That's the best affix in the game right now. So players will be looking for as much strength on gear as they can get. And
I think he even scrolled past MS boots on the vendor.
Who cares about the movement speed boots? Strength boots is where it's at. Movement speed.
That's true. All right, let's see. Alex, he's going to be the first person to fight Lachlann, as far as we know. A pretty difficult fight. We've seen a lot of rips on this one going the wrong way. Just there for a second.
Was it? Oh, wow. Wow, Alex's damage is really good here.
Tanking.
Yeah, the stun was perfectly timed. No big dangerous moves from Lachlann. That was an extremely clean kill. Exactly perfect. Like, no, it's exactly what you want. Look at that. He's happy. You can tell the cursor movement there. He's like, yeah, that was good. That was clean. Very nice. Look
easy. Definitely. I mean, it kind of was, but you know, most of the time this boss is kind of a struggle. There's a lot of chill. There's a lot of damage coming out. But with the power of Rake and, more importantly, the power of bossing boots, Alex makes quick work of Lachlann.
Yeah, we can definitely seeing Angormus farming the side area here with some extra treasure, a little bit of a pick me up after his early upsets with Arigney. Maybe gotta do some reset farming of the little hidden trove of treasure there. Maybe I've seen some.
He needs to step it up though. He's getting really far behind now, and he's not exactly catching up. I mean, Alex is definitely a player that I was kind of keeping my eye on because he's an extremely prominent PoE1 player. He's somebody who has shown in the past that if he puts in effort, he can get top placements. And as far as I understood, he practiced very little for the previous races with a lot of big results. So it's really interesting to see how he really has been one of the people challenging Angormus in a way, sticking to Warrior, because we've seen a lot of other players play Warrior thinking, oh, we can maybe beat Angormus, and then getting utterly demolished and swapping over to another class like a Sorceress, maybe something a little bit simpler. But not for Alex. This guy has been sticking with Warrior, and from the looks of it, he's been practicing, because it's really showing. I mean, his Act 1 was good before, but now it's getting to Angormus levels of excellence as we switch over to Bunka in the bottom left, who is prepping up most likely for their Lachlann fight right now.
And on a witch as well, so rotating in some new class action here.
Wait, I lied. Ziggy, sorry. Alex is mercenary. He did kind of go.
Alex is on the Merc. Yeah, we've got.
Oh, what? I thought he's sticking with the Warrior. Alex, disappointed.
We've got a nice distribution here as well. But I've just been marveling at the damage of Worm and Alex. Angormus's damage has been looking very good as well. I'm curious to see how he goes with his Lachlann fight, because his earlier Draven fight. Well, we're not going to see anything. Production, help!
Huh? I'm seeing everything. Ziggy, what's going on?
He's
Open
dead.
your eyes,
He's dead.
Ziggy.
It was very clean. It was very clean. Misclick.
Okay.
We had a slight misclick there. The kill for it was insanely fast from Angormus there. Probably one of the fastest we've seen on Lachlann there. And Alex's damage has been insane too. He like almost two-shot the side rare to pick up the extra support gem while in the hunting grounds. And was able to get their martial tempo, their faster attacks for disengage to get things just going a little bit faster. But Angormus is not too far behind now. He's still got to do his Crowbell kill. We'll see if he goes for the side quests in this area. The way he's kind of carving through the middle makes me wonder that maybe he's not just deleting rares there, though.
A lot of donuts happening on the top left and the top right. Very difficult rare to deal with, unless you're melee, in which case you just stand and kill him. Alex, progressing very smoothly. Will he be picking up the flute? There you go. He finds it immediately. So a great layout read there for Alex. This is going to make for some really smooth progression.
And Gormus gets his Ogham Farmlands checkpoint, and he's got a really confident read on this zone and just goes straight through to Ogham into this, almost wasting no steps. An immediate deletion of that rare. I think his damage and strength is looking very good here.
Wait a minute.
A big race. Oh, what happened? Bunker.
You know what I just noticed, Ziggy? We have a newcomer to the ladder. When I refreshed, he was rank 1. And there is their name. It's a legendary nickname for Tie23. Jose.
No.
Jose El Diablo has entered the building. And I don't know if this is a copycat, but they are rank 1 on the ladder
I'm
now.
I'm spectating in game. I'm having a look. We have an exciting new development, folks. Look, it's a pretty common name, Rise. But
I mean, that's what people said last time when Jose, out of nowhere, got first level 100 in an SSF league in Path of Exile 1. And then nobody could figure out how the hell did this guy do it a day faster before anybody else, keep in mind. And later on, it turned out it was Tie23.
Production, we're going to have to get him in on the stream here if we can, because they are actually possibly in the lead right now in terms of progression as well, on a warrior just flipping very fast, a full zone ahead, and then some on Angormus right now. A 2-zone lead on Angormus. I didn't even think those words could come out of my mouth, but they're heading into the Courtyard of Death right now to fight the Executioner at this very moment. So if we can get that...
okay, I'm watching Jose. Look at Jose, Ziggy. He is blasting. He's already at the Executioner.
Production's bringing him up.
Okay, I'm semi-memeing, but I'm also, as you can hear, excited because it's not easy to be it's easy to copycat, but it's not easy to copycat and randomly be rank 1 better than our 4-time rank 1 player.
Who is this newcomer to the scene here, to the Path of Exile 2 Racing? Because as far as we know, we haven't seen any appearances from Tie23 since their last ExileCon win, coming back from retirement to win an ExileCon after winning the first ExileCon once again, to display off their new muscle growth and to show that they were still dominant in the racing scene. Maybe they've been like, it's time. It's time, maybe. Or maybe it's someone entirely new.
I mean, he just...
Mystery.
Listen, you're really downplaying what Tie23 did. He just showed up, won everything, won ExileCon 2, dropped the mic, and disappeared again. So, listen, we even went to a steak dinner, and he paid for everybody's food, 12 people, and left.
Yeah.
He didn't say he paid. He didn't say bye to everybody. He paid and left. And if this is this guy, listen, as we can see, I am the biggest fan. So
yeah, absolutely, biggest fan. Absolutely. Well, exciting day for PoE esports here as we get a little dosage of mystery and excitement and upset as as all sorts of unexpected things are happening, and Gormaz not just maintaining a massive, dominant, unapproachable lead. We have Worm up in the top left, looking just like an absolutely practiced professional esports champion here, with like the unique cursor MTX that is their chest armor just perpetually on their mouse button. Like they've got some insanely practiced looking menuing and and movements and
Holy, look at
and
that.
chest armor de-equipping. Like,
I mean, Worm is a
constantly,
god gamer.
crazy.
This guy has been dominating in PoE1 for the longest time. And he's also another player that if he puts in the work, he can really blast. And he has been participating in the other races, but his results, I think, not up to his standards. And listen, Ziggy, I would just like to point out one thing. Look around. Do you see, or rather, do you not see somebody? There's no Angormas on the screen.
There was no
As we switch over to
Angormas.
Angormas. Okay, I was listen, Bernard, I was making a point over
He
here.
wasn't.
Come on.
I mean, it hasn't happened, right? Like, there hasn't been a time where Angormas hasn't been on screen in any of these races until just that moment for a little while there. So we have had, things have changed a little bit. Things are changing. The times are changing. But Angormas, don't discount. I'm not ready to discount Angormas. He's still got a chance to take this entire race because his Act 2, his Act 3 are insane. His Act 3 especially is insane. But
yeah,
there is a big question mark right now. Who is this player? Jose El Diablo Rake.
I am not questioning Jose El Diablo. I remember last time when there were a lot of discussions about who Jose El Diablo was, and in the end, it turned out the conspiracy was true. It was Tie23, and I think it's Tie23 again. And so far, the results are showing it as he goes backwards. Okay, he picked up the checkpoint and he's gonna go kill the boss. Interesting. I don't think we've seen everybody kill the Candle boss last time. Many players were skipping the boss. The additional 20, I believe, HP from him, not proving to be as worthwhile as it was in those early races. But Tie23, he's known for being for implementing what he called the garbage strat, the garbage can strat. He doesn't need to beat anybody by 10 minutes or even 2 minutes. As long as he beats them by 1 second, it's sufficient for him. As long as he's beating other players consistently, that's what he wants to do. And honestly, it looks like this player is thinking about those things the same way, right? He's staying ahead and making sure that he has the most secure run as he possibly can, as Jose has entered the boss fight, being the first person to do so. Jose El Diablo, let's go.
Yes, we are full screening Jose here, our mystery player, although Rise insists is not a mystery. Let's see how much they embarrass Count Geonor. Off to a brutal start there. Just a back and forth melee exchanged rapidly right into a stun. The strength is looking very good. Immediately gets to that break point. If you get Count Geonor back down to halfway point, you can't do any more damage to him. They're like, I'm going to turn into a wolf, but hold on. I have a few more abilities to show you. Like, Count Geonor's a very cool fighter. They have a lot of cool abilities. He wants to make sure you get a chance to see all the different looks. See, I've got this sword slash. I got this one. All right, look. Now we'll do it. Let's do phase 2. Let's see if he gets a clean phase 2 kill. No poetry. I'm anticipating the shock into the gigantic hit. The immediate stun. The shock happened immediately. Okay. A little bit of dodging at the end there. Have to take those beams seriously. Wow. Insane kill.
Wow. Insane is very Tie23 like, I must say,
Yes.
Listen, I'm logging in right now. I was having to watch the stream for the commentary. In the previous week, we didn't really have a whole lot of people who weren't streaming that were doing really well. So I didn't really have to use the casting tool, but now I'm in. I'm going to be able to marvel at Jose's pace in its full glory.
Their movement with the rake is looking very, very good as well. You can track to enemies and kind of snap to them from very fast range and use it to path around things like rocks and other packs of enemies and things like that. But it's tricky to do consistently, but I'm seeing a lot of it happening really nicely here. So they've got very good like cursor positioning, and which we can't see due to the way we're spectating. But very good movement there. Meanwhile, Alex doing their Count Geonor first phase, getting that down nice and fast there. Let's take a look and see just how their second phase goes. Having a little bit of getting caught by some of the combo strikes there. But we're not too worried. Players have got Count Geonor figured out. There's some nice boss swapping boots there, mate, if you want to put them on. Just saying.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind that.
We have another newcomer, Rise, who might be even competing with Jose, but let's just check out how... Alex gets the poetry phase. No. Bit of slam poetry time from Alex Pleblord. We need to check... Okay, all right, we have some new tech. We've got some new production crew feeding us some info. In the background, someone named 2's beat Jose to killing Geonor. Believe it or not.
What?
By 13 seconds. They left Ogre Manor 13 seconds before Jose. Well, actually, that might not have beaten the boss because did Jose end up going and doing Candle Boss? Did you catch that?
I am not sure.
I feel like they left straight away. I don't think they did go to Candle Boss in the end, despite getting the checkpoint.
We're talking about Jose? I think he started to run back, but then never actually did it in the end. I think he ran back, got the checkpoint, and then still didn't kill the boss. Yeah.
So we have okay. There's a lot
There's a lot going on, guys, right now. There's another player, 2's beating out Jose by 13 seconds, and I would love to tell you who that is. I don't know who 2's is. I mean, I'm pretending to know who Jose El Diablo is. But, look, I don't know who 2's is. No backstory on this one. Sorry, everybody.
Look, I'm just saying, if I was some unknown racer up and coming, I would use an alias from Tie23 just to confuse everyone, right? So, Guido has a stream. Oh, we're getting Guido's stream in. This is a newcomer. We didn't even know they had a stream. We are finding out now they have a stream. And not only that, but they're beating Tie23 and Gormus. Everyone. Okay, so we have the technology. I'm very excited right now. From the background crew, Jose did kill 2 bosses, so they did take down Candle Boss. They were just so fast we missed it.
Okay.
Nice. Whereas 2's did skip Candle Boss, which maybe just gave them a slight lead in terms of time, and they did leave Ogre Manor just like 12 seconds before. So it's super close right now. We need to take a look at who this is. Here we go. In the bottom left, introducing 2's. Who are they? What's their backstory? Where have they come from? Are they someone we already know? No idea. Complete mystery to us. I think there's a big
delay apparently on their stream, so I think we're gonna have to spectate them in game. Which my game is crashing, Ziggy, so you're gonna have to do all that whenever it's spectating in game, as I have been having some CPU issues. So good luck.
But I'm spectating Jose El Diablo in game.
Oh man, I want to spectate Jose El Diablo too. He was going so fast, my game crashed.
All right, if we can get Jose El Diablo in the bottom right and 2's on stream in the bottom left production, that'll give us a bit of an idea at least as to what's going on. Even if there's a bit of a delay on stream, or at least we'll get the background reports and know who's actually in the lead on a slight delay. But, oh, mate, it's too exciting. Let's find out what's going on here. Worm has been doing an excellent race here. A very impressive run so far on the Huntress, which is very cool to see, so dominant. And a great first phase for Count Geonor, just absolutely clean, no issues. Moving into the second one now as well.
Yep, nice progression from all of our players so far. No Angormus in sight still, as Alex Pleblord getting over to his rather challenging boss, as we've already seen. Actually, no, we haven't seen. We've only seen Jose kill the hyena boss, correct? I think so. Wow. Holy moly, I just realized how far ahead Jose is. Jose is so far ahead. It's not even funny.
We're getting some further updates. The story is still developing, folks. So I'm just getting reports that 2's may have went the wrong direction and left the manor, which flagged our tracking tool to say that they had beaten the boss and left the manor, but they had actually beaten Candle Boss and then went to town, thus tricking us. So in fact, it seems that we've been debated, but not entirely, because they are still currently one of the leading players. It just so happens that they are probably not beating Tie23. right now, as it seems. But
Okay, relax. What did you just...
they're
Jose El
still
Diablo? Okay, I'll
look.
give you guys the
They're in
rundown.
second. Okay, they're in
I'll give you
second.
the rundown, okay? Because many people, you might be not so familiar with racing, or maybe you don't pay that much attention to level 100 races. But level 100 races were kind of one of those things where people used to do that a lot, but then kind of stopped because it began to be less competitive due to the changes in PoE 1 and blah, blah, blah. But there was one race in particular where people really wanted to go for the first 100. There was a lot of hype. Players were really looking to try hard, and many players were competing against each other. And out of nowhere, there's this guy, Jose El Diablo. Doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't respond to any messages. Players are asking who he is, and he's just not saying anything to
D&D.
anybody. And then he proceeds to win the race, destroy everyone. And so we're speculating, right? Who is this guy? We're talking to each other. All the players are talking to each other. We're trying to talk to the guy. No confirmation from anybody. Tie23 not confirming anything, not even responding to anybody. But then later on, through some miracle, I don't quite remember what it was, as this was like 3 years ago now or something, or maybe even 4. Suddenly, we do get confirmation that all along, a wicked twist,
Yes.
it was Tie23 showing out of nowhere, getting the win, dropping the mic, and disappearing again, only to then win Exile Con 2. So if this is the same guy, I'm kind of thinking, it could actually be Tie23.
The writing is kind of on the wall there. I think you may well be right, but we do have with a massive lead, Jose, our somewhat of a mystery player potentially, taking on Rudia the Dread Engineer, which can just be an absolutely like very deadly, very scary boss. Doesn't look like it. Complete confidence, clean kill. The shocks are going down. The stun's going off at the right moment. She doesn't even get a chance to pull out a melee attack, which can one-shot you. Perfect kill right there. Just absolutely flawless. Maintaining that lead. No mistakes so far have been made.
And Gorma is getting a little bit lost. Struggling with the layout. He's going to need some clean reads to catch up to Jose. Alex Plebboard still in the vicinity. Guido, similar situation, a little bit further behind, but with a correct read. Man, I'd love to see it, Ziggy. It's getting so close. I was really concerned that maybe these gaps were a little bit too big. I was kind of thinking for this sort of second season of racing that we're getting in PoE 2. It's the gap was still so big between Gormus and everybody else.
It was.
I was hoping that first race a week ago is going to get everybody excited and practicing and really pumping out those sick times. And yeah, that's absolutely happened. It is showing. And we've got a lot of really good players on our hands here, really showing everybody what good movement and what speed looks like in PoE 2. Because we've got all these people complaining there's no speed in PoE 2. I don't know, guys. This looks pretty fast to me. Yeah, it's so kind of limited to Rake and this. Maybe there's a little bit of shield charging. Honestly. But it goes so fast when you're doing it right. And it looks so smooth, too. Guido, even look at the way that Guido is moving around whenever he is in a situation where there's a little bit of a longer gap between the next pack of mobs. He's weapon swapping to shield charge.
Yeah,
and it just looks so sick when mixed in with the disengages and the animation cancels and the dodge movement. So good.
The movement now with spear, I'm a big fan of the spears. I'm a big fan of the movement. It's really high skill cap, really fast. You've got rake into dodge roll animation cancels. You've got disengage into dodge roll animation cancels. You've got disengage into rake into dodge roll. You've got shield charge dodge roll, and then you've got leap slam dodge roll, and you've got a combination of those mixed in and chosen at different times, and they can all be kind of used together in different ways, in different moments. So you just
in a way the most difficult animation canceling is the one that's most difficult to see because it's not very flashy. It's when you animation cancel your rake, only really getting that little tick, that first step of the animation where the first stomping ground proc goes off, and hopefully with enough gear, it's sufficient enough damage to clear out whatever you're looking to kill. And with
And
Alex Pleblord, we've got another Rugia fight in the top right for you guys.
yeah, and that rake, you can kind of use it to rubber band to enemies around packs as well, which is just crazy. Good clean first stun there for Alex. No upsets. You'd look at this and you'd think, oh, the players would never die to this, but we've had it happen.
We've had Angormas die to this.
Yes, it has happened. So all right, so Angormas' performance this race, right? Like you looked at that he had a bit of an upset in the early Act 1, right? You might think, oh man, it's over for him. He's done so badly, he must be so far behind that it's given everyone a chance to overtake him. But not really. He's only a minute 43 behind his personal best, which his personal best was like 10 minutes faster than everyone else. So everyone's actually just gotten so much faster this week. And we're getting like the reports, like the actual final kind of results of like the early Act 2 was Jose with first and Gormus with second. So he has actually pulled back, like he's catching back up. Alex third and Driz fourth. Zemsax fifth, another name I'm not super familiar with, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. And we've got first ranger is Kiom, another new, kind of someone else I'm not super familiar with, and 12 Guido, who kind of has come out of nowhere, it was technically 10th to get into Act 2, despite being in a very, very good position overall right now.
I feel like that needs more highlighting, though. I'm biased. Okay, I love Jose already. Okay, but you really didn't highlight what's going on here. 12 Guido dropping a little bit low, but not quite dying from that explosion. Angormas
Nice, good recovery.
is the player that won out of 4 of our races, not just on any class, on Warrior, the most competitive class, first overall, getting 4 demis. And currently, and he has, whenever you're in a race, obviously RNG is a factor. So typically, whenever you're doing a race, it's not necessarily going to be your personal best. You're just looking to do as well as you can, but you're probably not beating any world records during an actual live event. That being said, Jose is ahead of the current world record that Angormas has. Jose is going faster than that in a live event, and we don't even know their personal best.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. I mean, with a run like this, is either their PB or what's their PB. Whew, it's possible. We're trying to keep everyone who's like the current top 4 on the screen, but I tell you, it's real hard. It's changing dynamically from moment to moment. So we're going to do our best to track it, but it's never been more difficult to track, and that's exciting. That's the way we want it to be. We want to have no idea because, oh man, like who's even winning right now? It's changing back and forth. All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we had happen in PoE1 where things were so extremely competitive. It was really difficult to keep track of everything. We don't have to switch nearly as much, as there will be a different strategy, different approaches. Sometimes the amount of XP that you're going to be getting, depending on how mobs position themselves or where you go, is going to be different. So keep that in mind that, even though some of our players might be a little bit further ahead in zones, maybe they're taking a little bit extra time to get a little bit more XP, as so far seems to be the case for Angormas, a player who is trying to get more XP than other people so that then he doesn't have to spend more time farming in one of those XP zones. And you're looking to do it as efficiently as possible. So you could see him killing, for instance, 3 mobs out of that 4 mob pack. And when there's 1 mob, he's not really trying to get that additional kill because it's just not worth the XP. So it's not just about killing as many mobs as possible. It's about killing the right packs at the right time and choosing to kill a rare mob. Interesting. That standard mob is always there, and maybe it yields a particularly large amount of XP. I'm not quite certain. That took quite a while, and I don't know if it was worth it. But definitely a strategy that he's practiced previously.
Where I'm just in the background checking in on Driz, just to kind of see where they're at, and they're halfway through the Halani gates right now, so they're in a pretty strong position as well. So if they take a bit of a lead or get into kind of a notable position, we'll try and get them on the stream as well. But right now, of course, Jose is just blasting their way through and looking very fast in Keth right now. But
My
most
God,
of our
I don't
players are
even.
moving through Helani Gates at the moment. So we've got kind of 4 players in Helani Gates, and we've got and then we've got Jose, who's his own ahead of that.
Okay, just to
Coming-
highlight what Jose is doing. In PoE 1, after many, many years of people practicing racing, you got to a ridiculous degree of min-maxing. And one of those strategies was positioning your cursor. You would click the waypoint, and as your character was running over to the waypoint, you were positioning your cursor to where you would be clicking the waypoint to where you would be going. And this allowed you to not spend the time moving your cursor from wherever it was on the waypoint to where
yes.
you needed to go. Jose
Uh-huh.
is doing that with checkpoints. Okay? He's done this multiple times now as I've seen it. This is insane. I mean, I can understand doing that for waypoints because the layouts will always look the same in PoE 1, but doing this for PoE 2 is crazy. What? How is he
It's
even
like
doing this?
that feels a year too soon, honestly. I feel like in a year's time we would have been seeing that kind of level of min-maxing on the racing, but it's already starting. And yeah, we've been seeing it like we saw Worm doing some stuff that I wouldn't have expected people to be doing more for a few months as well. So a few more months. But it's happening. People are pushing it because that's the sort of stuff you do after you've got everything else down pat. When everything
Yeah.
else is locked in, then you start making those little refinements.
Yup. I mean,
Wild.
that really shows that, these strategies, these are the things that you learned in PoE 1 and you're looking to apply them in PoE 2. And that's one of the unfortunate weaknesses of Angormus because he really doesn't have that prominent racing background from Path of Exile 1. So maybe he's not as familiar with some of these strategies that really, in a way, haven't been shown to him by PoE 1 players. Alex would know these things, but seemingly hasn't put in the effort to really min-max them. And Jose is showing us it makes a difference. Every second
Also,
counts.
I want to point out as well for our audience today that the bottom right is our in-game unique new spectating client that lets us watch first person with a current racer who's not streaming. So this is important for a few things. Currently, the UI is displaying the spectators flasks, so that no, Jose's not running around with a small life flask. That's not their life totals. That's not their small
He's not
flask.
cheating. He has skills on his bar, guys.
No, yeah, that's right. Actually, I think we can see his life bars now. That is working. So he does have 540 life. But yeah, not the flask.
Nice.
So we can't see the flask in inventory yet, but that tech's coming. But I also want to mention that, like, because if it is indeed 2023's thing, their whole thing has been like being full stealth mode until the end and then coming out and winning the championship and revealing, taking their mask off. But it was me, right? They might be trying to do the same thing again here, but now, unprecedented moment, we have the ability to spy on them before they do that and actually see how they're going in the race here. Whereas before we just would have been like, who's that on the ladder? Who's that winning this race that we couldn't see? That might well be their intent, right? You are muted, Rise, by the way.
Sorry, I'm muted. There was that one ladder where Jose was winning and we just couldn't spectate him, right? He wasn't streaming. Who is this guy? We couldn't figure it out whatsoever. But here, yeah, as you said, we can spy on them and he looks great,
So good. Oh, mate, all right. I've got so many perspectives on my PC right now to watch.
Same. I'm having to watch the stream because my game is crashing
got,
for
like-
Jose and he's on a delay, but then Angormus is
got-
ahead, so I'm trying to triangulate the speeds.
Yes.
But simultaneously, Jose is showing us so much new tech, right? It's not just optimizing movement and kind of what we were highlighting why Angormus was so efficient in the past, where he really had those animation cancels on lock. It's not just that. He's doing so much more. And it's saving in precious seconds, and it's really making it very difficult for the other players to keep up and catch up. And I mean, at this stage of the game, also, you have to keep in mind that a class such as Warrior is going to have advantages. You're going to have access to strength nodes. You're going to have just more power than other players do. You have a lot of increased area of effect nodes, which actually not just increased area of effect, but increased area of attack effect. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. But Warrior has access to that more than anybody else, with only really mercenary coming close, and that's going to give you more AoE on stomping grounds, and therefore you're going to have more efficient clearing,
Alex.
and you're going to have to spend less time farming. As we've got another boss fight.
Come on, Alex. You hold it together, buddy. You can do it. You can hang in there, mate. Iktab and Ekbab sometimes catching people off guard with some nasty combinations of skills, as that big orb comes down and sprays projectiles everywhere. You, of course, want to kill these bosses together at the same time, and Alex does manage just a very nice recovery. They hovered the logout button. They were getting ready to reset at checkpoint, that they committed, and they did it. They came back very nicely in that fight, and that was a clean finish in the end after a not clean fight. Well done. And credit to Alex. Yeah, we'll just be pointed out in the background that their current stream title is.
Okay, Jose is AFK
all week for this. How they? Hold on.
Jose's taking a break.
He's okay. He was just scratching his nose. Rise, calm down. It was 3 seconds. It might be enough for Angormus to catch up, though. Oh,
I think he was doing push-ups.
Yeah, probably.
This guy is Tie23.
He has to make sure that the flex is even more impressive next ExileCon, right?
That's the final proof. Okay, yeah, he's already getting ready to pose on stage. That's what that was. It must have been.
Well, I mean, something we can't see from that perspective is we don't see them open their inventory and do some gear management. So he's probably crafting or something, right? Whereas
you're going to say
standing still
we don't
for
see,
us.
With our spy tool, we don't see the inside of his room and whether or not he's actually doing push-ups. Yeah, unfortunately,
Yes,
the tech is not quite there yet.
Yeah, no, but we're quickly developing the ability to, kind of look at people in their homes. I'm just kidding, of course, I'm just kidding.
Unless, hold on,
only for Tie23, only for when he's doing push-ups.
Nice. We've got another fight for Angormus.
Oh yeah, we've got a clip of Alex almost dying. Good job. Production loves a good bloodbath. Getting very low,
shock.
eating some nasty shocks, and just eats like 2 projectiles back to back. And there's it would have been a very reasonable checkpoint, right?
The consideration, he thought about it.
He did.
And didn't. He didn't reset the fight. He knew he had it. Nice control from Alex. His stream title apparently is I practiced PoE 1 all week for this race, and I can tell you guys, he has been doing that. Alex has not done a lot of practice for PoE 2, and yeah, he's really performing here. Although he didn't win Mercenary last week, so I'm sure that's an improvement that he's looking to accomplish here.
We get some players just practicing nonstop and just putting on extremely fine performances because of it. And then we have people who just glide by on the natural talent, put in zero effort, and you love to hate them, right? Alex is one of those people. He's like, I practiced it. I did 5 practice runs in 6 months for Path of Exile 2 racing. And look, here I am, top of the field. And you know what it's saying? It's so, imagine if I did practice. That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah, okay.
Imagine if I did practice.
I hate Alex now. Thank you, Ziggy.
When you put it like that. Alex.
Okay.
It's just such a brag, right? You're like, imagine if I practiced as much as Angormus. Imagine how fast that'd be. This is me at my worst, right?
I mean, honestly, that's one of the biggest things. Huge props to Angormus, as he has not just been practicing longer than anybody else, but despite the fact that he's been winning by a substantial margin too, he continued to practice. He continued to improve. He's not just somebody who won, his races and now is getting lazy. No, he's really got that Havoc mentality in him. Another player who really worked hard to always stay on top. And that can be so challenging, whenever you are first on the ladder and you're better than everybody else. You kind of, you eat a little bit more than everybody else. You don't come as prepared. Maybe you do one less practice run that week, and it ends up costing you. Not for Angormus. This guy puts in the work, and it shows. But is pure hard work enough to beat Jose El Diablo?
That was a great kill from Jose just now on Ektab and Ikbab. Extremely clean. And positioned them very well. It was basically damaging both of them fully the entire time, which is ideal if you can do that. And you can, you can try and manipulate the fight in such a way. If you don't stand in a position where the whichever one it is, the bull thing, the mammoth skeleton won't charge across the arena, you can keep them together. if you stand in a point where they'll charge into the wall instead, you can do that. And, or, with a bit of luck, a bit of knockback, a bit of stomping grounds action, pulling it off very nicely there. And Gormaz getting a sweet rare kill with an explosion of gold at the same time as they level up. That was very satisfying.
Yeah, and I think whenever we were thinking that Jose was AFK, I think that's our spectating tool not picking up on the fact that he's actually vendoring. I think that's what was happening. So he seemingly was AFK again, but I think he's just doing a little bit of vendoring in town. So still focusing on a lot of his inventory management and making sure that he's got sufficient amounts of gold to continue to do what he's doing, aka dominating. I mean, he's absolutely destroying everybody.
It definitely has a nice little bit of a lead there, a little bit of a zone lead. We did see a little bit of a difference in how people approached these zones. So a bit of an out of sequencing of some of the bosses. Like we did see an earlier Ektab kill, but Guido's kind of got some other things and bits and pieces to do. I'm checking in on Driz right now, who's also just kind of most of the way through the Mastodon Badlands right now. So they're having a bit of backtracking actually. I'm not kind of sure what's going on there. So they're losing. They've been doing a very good job of keeping up with the pack, but losing a bit of time here and doing a bit of backtracking. So I'll check in on them every now and then. And if they take a commanding position, we can try and get them on stream too. That was Driz I was referring to there as well. It's not on stream currently.
I gotta say, an unusual amount of struggling with layouts for Gormaz as he finds his next boss fight, the double boss, seeking to position them together, trying to get as much AoE going. And I love how in the past races, players were trying to kind of min-max the boss HP so that both bosses would die together and it would make for the safest run. And we saw with Alex that things can get pretty dangerous whenever the other boss enrages. None of that happening for Gormaz. All that he's min-maxing is his damage output. He absolutely blasted those bosses. And it didn't make for the cleanest fight. Well, in a way, actually, damage was the answer because it did make for a very clean fight. He didn't have to dodge anything; just blast them.
It's often the answer, isn't it?
Yeah,
the damage is often the answer.
DPS is kind of like cheating in ARPGs, isn't it?
Mm-hmm,
like, why do you need to learn to do mechanics when you could just kill the boss instead?
Yeah, that's it. He did kill one boss way before the other one, which would have been a problem in a slower fight, but he was able to just kind of blast the mammoth from like 3/4 all the way down. So nice clean. No worries there at all. Titan Grotto started for Jose, who's going on to the Colossus boss very soon, which is a boss that has proven dangerous in the past, but pretty fast with the stomping ground action on a warrior to the point where you can avoid worrying too much about some of those mechanics. And of course, there's also been some cheekiness in that fight from time to time where players stand in the boss's armpits so that they can't take any damage. And
right.
I can see Mark getting on and changing those at some point. Being like, no, armpit is where most damage occurs now. It's like, yes, they have a explosive gas cloud that releases from their armpits now. Something like that.
Yeah, and another element of that fight that players tend to disrespect is the ads. Those ads will do a lot of damage. They blow up, and that's probably most of the rips that we've seen. Very often, people are like, "Oh, what did I die to? I didn't even get hit by the boss." But it's really you trying to position yourself either behind something or trying to protect yourself from some mechanic when there's sneaky ads. Get in there, and they deliver a tremendous amount of damage as Jose.
Here we go. This fight. He's in that armpit. He's in the spot. He's doing the stomps, just stomping in the armpit. Look, you might not think but it takes a lot of skill to stand in place and swipe like that. What can I say?
Okay, he is making it look kind of goofy.
Just could not be cleaner.
Okay, we need to stop building up these bosses. Rake is just not fair.
Not fair. That was that was that boss. It will be getting some buffs. No, I think
my goodness,
might be getting some unbuffs.
Listen, some of our production is looking at this behind the scenes, and they are actually some of the people that are making choices. I see a lot of whelp and oh my god comments happening right now.
I can hear the beads of sweat dripping in the background from production. We have GGG staff in the background watching right now, so they're taking
Jonathan hates this. Jonathan is slamming his keyboard. This is the worst.
He's doing the Alchemite right now. We saw a near instantaneous kill from Alex Pleblord as well in the Buried Shrines. We're starting to see players manage to take that boss down without it doing any attacks, and that was pretty much the case there. Very nice.
Very nicely done indeed. A little bit of vandering for Alex, still trying to get as much gear as possible, min-maxing his strength. You can see him moving around various pieces of equipment, and just about everything that he's got has strength on it. Interesting, he actually opts to put a pair of gloves into his stash. Is he saving them for the next race? What's happening here? I wonder.
We have our first ascension clear. The Trial of Seconds has been cleared by Limes to Pathfinder. So we won't see any ascending on the kind of who we're seeing on stream. Generally is not going to be ascending because the top of the pack is Warrior, Merc, Huntress currently. And those people, they aren't doing ascendancies, and potentially Monk as well is not really doing ascendancies either. But we do see Ranger, and we do see Witch doing some ascendancy action. And the first of that has gone down for a Pathfinder from Limes. But right now, yeah, I don't think we've seen a Warrior or a Merc ascendancy ever, I don't think, actually. There's just none of them that really make it worth the while to go through Sekimas, because obviously that's a bit of a side quest to go do for an Act 3 kill. I wonder if an Act 6 a second time around Doryani would be ascending in that case, I wonder.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it definitely depends on the class too. I mean, we've seen some of our players ascend to get that demon form in our previous races, but I gotta say, I mean, it didn't look that much better than just raking it up with a witch. So I wonder if that's going to be happening, as we don't see any witches and we don't see any sorceress happening on the screen right now, as really they were a lot more competitive last week, but we knew that the other classes had a lot more min-maxing potential, mainly the warriors and the mercenaries. We do get some nice speed going on from our rank 1 monk player Sarge, but that's just about it. And especially when it comes to monks, it gets a little bit difficult because monks tend to have the worst Act 3 bossing out of just about any class, actually, because they're not able to swap over as effectively to Perfect Strike as a lot of the other classes do because of the pathing on the skill tree. So even though Monk is performing pretty well now and Sarge puts in a lot of work and a lot of effort, a lot of practice, he's most likely going to be slowly trailing off, and maybe we're going to be seeing a little bit more witches and some more sorceress, but most likely none of them beating out our current top class contenders, being mercenary and warrior, as Jose is entering the Spires of Deshret, getting really close to my favorite goofy boss of the game. You know, the Ghoul Tor or whatever his name is. That guy is really goofy. Alex Pleblord progressing nicely. Guido, he made it over to the Titan, seeking that perfect position right in that armpit, choosing to go for the right side one. Interesting.
You don't see that. And then look, he did get slapped for it. Maybe he's just like, I'm doing the more ethical armpit. You can actually take damage here.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Guido is very min-maxed. We've seen a lot of min-maxing from Guido, but maybe they just feel like it's a bit unethical, that left armpit, or the, stage right armpit.
Ooh, the ads.
Unsurprising, no one. The first one to go into the Spires of Deshret is, of course, Jose, which I don't know that we have anyone else entering the Spires just yet, but Angormus is 1 minute 40 seconds behind Jose in terms of progression. So we actually are able to get, I love this, thank you, production, good work. We're able to get, like, the time difference for the zone entries is 1 minute 40. So Angormus has done a very good job of keeping up / catching up since being behind. But when I mentioned it earlier, how far they were behind their personal best, It was a minute 43. That was, I believe, the time that I said. They were a minute 43 behind
Damn.
their personal best, which means that Jose's current run is Angomis's personal best.
Yeah, I really
Based on
wonder.
that time, right?
Yeah, but that would also mean that. I mean, I really wonder what the mindset is for Angormus right now. This is not a situation that he's found himself in previously, right? He was very decisively ahead of everybody else previously, and now that he's got a, I mean, I wonder if he even knows. He probably sees that other people are entering zones ahead of him, but maybe he's chalking it up to, hey, yeah, like, oh, they're running through the zones and not even killing anything. I don't see him checking his friends list. I don't see him checking slash ladder for XP. So I really wonder, is he fully conscious of how far behind he really is in this situation? Or maybe it just doesn't matter. It's one of those things where, if you're running away from something, you don't look behind you because it's going to slow you down. So he's like, he doesn't want to pay attention to, who's ahead of him. He's just doing his personal best. I would love to hear
Yeah.
his thoughts on this. Like, what is his mindset right now?
Yeah, I wonder. Sometimes you get players not even realizing that they are in the lead, or that or they're actually just so close behind someone, or they don't even realize that someone has overtaken them a little bit. Sometimes their stream chat lets them know, but
Right.
they're locked in, they're zoned in. They don't often pick up on that sort of thing. Yes,
I gotta
getting a bit
say,
of a.
he
Go
does look
ahead.
panicked. Like, if you
He
just
does
look
look
at
panicked.
Angormus, this is not a express. We've seen this expression before when he was fighting that one boss. He
Yep.
knew that it was costing him a lot of time, and it's pretty much not left. We haven't seen him look like this in the previous races. He does not look
I
relaxed
agree.
at all.
He's quite expressive, and he's definitely not his usual kind of relaxed, confident self. I think he's in hyper focus. He's a little bit more stressed. I see it for sure. Tolgul the Defiler is a bit of a goofy boss. He's taking on Angomus right now. We'll see if Tolgul gets his moment in the spotlight. I don't know that we've had any big deaths to Tolgul yet.
Let's see if
You don't know.
Torgul
Today could be
manages
the
to
day.
decrease Angormus's HP by even 1 point.
Whoa!
Oh,
I mean,
wait a minute!
as you
Hold
say
up.
it, the
Hold
end
up,
of the fire breath is kind of
Torgul!
catching him. Torgul's not quite
I
done
would like
yet.
to officially apologize, Torgul. I was not familiar with
You
your
better.
game.
You better.
I better put some respect on that name. Mamma mia, Torgul. I'll remember that one for next time.
So
Torgul
Jose is into
really
the
pumping.
Dreadnought, which is obviously huge. It means he can begin his farming to, assuming he's going for the regular strategy, he's farming to level 28 to begin the Act 3 push. But I just want to say, like, right now, the way it is that Angomus has an XP lead. So that could be Angomus's time to catch up, as he's entering the Dreadnought only not very far behind right now. So that means that Angomus might have to do, like, 30 seconds, a minute less farming, possibly. And that might be his chance to catch up and just level that 1 minute 40 difference, right?
Yeah, but look at what Jose is doing.
Difference.
He's not killing anything. He's skipping everything. Look.
Wait,
I think he might feel like he's got
now,
sufficient XP.
That's actually wild. That means he's going through at 24. What is he? I need to see. What is his actual level right now? 23. So did he just hit 24?
Okay. Another factoid about Tie23. He is known as the top in the world boss killer. If anybody knows anything about Tie23, it's his legendary Uber Elder kill at, I believe, level 24 or something like that in PoE 1. And he's done a bunch of those, and people couldn't even figure out what gear he had on the character. It wasn't like, oh, this guy's so much more skilled than everybody. They couldn't even figure out physically how he was able to do it.
Chris, what?
Bow?
Mate, I am invoking names in blasphemy right now because Rise, I just realized he's level 23. There's no reason to pick that level outside of the fact that he's making reference to his name Tie23.
Oh my god! What did you just say? There's no way. No,
I think
he's not. No, that is not real.
He's picked it.
This is such a Tie23 thing to do, though. That is such an obviously Tie23 thing to do.
Like, I'm trying to think of what the breakpoint is. That there's no specific breakpoint there.
No. I mean, that is such a Tie23 thing to do.
He's doing it. I think that's exactly what's happening now. Is Angorma's going to farm the 28, or is he going to change? Is he going to change his strategy? No, he's still doing it. He's going for the conventional strategy, mate. Is this a gambit? Is this confident? Is it a done thing? Is he just better? Can he be caught?
This is absolutely going to cost him time. I think it is a confidence thing. He might genuinely lose for the meme.
Yes. Yes. Please. It's like, okay, so the strategy is, everyone, you get level 28 on a warrior, you get a temple maul, you just leap slam through the entirety of Act 3 and perfect strike the bosses in 2 hits, right? That's the strategy. Angorma, it takes a lot of skill, because the perfect strikes, so we saw last week, get missed a lot of the time, except for by Angorma. He's exceptionally good with it. But what is going on here with this level 23 warrior push in Act 3? Is he going to keep stomping grounds? Because it falls off compared to perfect strike a lot. But that's with the 28 meta. Maybe this level 23 Tie23 meta. Who knows, right?
I'm blown away. I mean, this is the dead giveaway. This is Tie23. But will he win because
I'm becoming
of this?
increasingly convinced.
Yeah, it is Tie. It's 100%. There is no other human being that would do this in a race like this. I guarantee you it's him.
It's mate, if he's going perfect strike in the next act at 23, like, I just wonder if he's gonna lose time, and then that's gonna mean that Angormas's more conventional 28 strategy is gonna be just too much more powerful in Act 3, and he's gonna pull ahead. Or is he going to just maintain this momentum the whole way through?
Angormas is farming.
He
doesn't care. He's sticking to his strat.
Yeah, I mean, that is the correct play. You don't want to get rattled by someone coming out of nowhere to do a completely new strategy and change to an unpracticed strategy last second. I mean, that is pretty exciting. But
what if the strategy you think is correct overall? Like, we really don't know. This is still really unexplored. People have this number. It's not arbitrary. Level 28 does allow you to use a new weapon and to be much more powerful against some of the most challenging bosses in the game, such as Viper and even to a certain degree Doryani. But I mean, if it doesn't save you time, it doesn't save you time. It's an Act 3 race. These guys are now looking to map. They're just trying to finish Act 3 as quickly as possible. And maybe level 28 was never the answer. It was never the correct strategy all along. Everybody's just been copying Angormas, and maybe he didn't do sufficient enough testing for this. It's one of those things also that probably when players came up with this strategy, they were much worse at the game. And with the amount of practicing that they've been putting in, maybe they thought, like we did in the past in PoE 1, for instance, hey, this can't be done. This is too challenging. This isn't consistent enough. You need a certain level. Tie23, he's known to break those records. This is the guy who killed Uber Elder at like level 20, straight up. Okay? So if there's somebody who is known for under-leveled bossing, it's gonna be him. And that seems to be exactly the sort of strategy that he's implementing here.
I just wonder about like a level 23 waterways and all that, but man, I have to say, looking at his health, 776 health, that's the thing. That you've got that strength stack, and he left.
Okay.
I think he just walked past a rare two-handed mace. So he's clearly planning on sticking with break then. Like, this is not a perfect strike swap, it looks like. We're going into jungle runes.
Ziggy,
we are doing the leap slams.
Ziggy,
yeah.
I have to interrupt you. You know how I've been yapping about I think it was level 24 or level 28 Uber Elder kill that Tie23 did. That video's got like 500,000 views on YouTube. He's really everybody's familiar with it. And 1 hour ago, Havoc616, another extremely prominent player in the Path of Exile community, released a no-hit level 20 Uber Elder kill. Literally 1 hour ago. So around the time when the race began, beating Tie23's record, this is not coincidence. This is stuff that's been in the works for months. There is zero chance this is coincidence.
Thing, is it? This is a planned thing. The conspiracy theories deepen. I'm very curious of what's going on
Okay,
now.
could it be that he's throwing us off? Because last time there was a lot of conspiracies about who Jose was. What if it's Havoc? What if Jose is Havoc
I
and
would
not
lose
Ty?
it. I would be so happy. Havoc is such a grinder, mate. I would love to have him just come out of nowhere to blast the PvG racing scene, mate. Oh,
This is
I would
getting
be.
crazy.
Uh,
I mean,
I think we can't just say I can't. I think we can't be calling them Tie23. You know, just for safety because we don't
I
know.
think so. I mean,
We don't know.
this is really okay. Hold
Havoc
on.
23. Yes.
I swear to God, I feel like Havoc messaged me a while ago. Oh no, never mind.
Did you see Jose's monkey? I missed it. How was it? I imagine it was good, right?
He
Did he
probably
skip it? Did
blasted
he
it.
do it? He made the
Let's be
monkey look
honest.
easy. You got it. You got it down. No worries. That's good. We did see last week Angormus deleting the monkey, and then other people like really struggling. We saw some really good players getting murdered by monkey last time around. I think like Alex Playboard, for example, had missed a lot of perfect strikes and had some deaths. I think on the monkey. Pretty brutal. We had some deaths on the monkey from other people. Some nice jump and raw perfect strikes from Angormus. So now we've got Angormus is level 28. His strategies come to fruition. He's into push mode, swap to perfect strike, and look, just deleting bosses. We will see, like, the perfect strikes will be more powerful than the rake stomping grounds that Jose is doing in Act 3. Like, it's unbeatable for boss damage. Based on everything we know,
Okay.
you never know.
I was gonna say we lost the feed from Jose, but he's back
He's back.
in the bottom
Slight,
right.
slight technical. We're okay. There was
We
some
actually
fixing
made
of technical issues in the
improvements
background.
to where our top players were supposed to be at the top of the screen, but the spectator tool only allows us to put
Yeah,
people in the bottom right.
So
So even
that's
though technically he should be in the top left where Angormus is, he's in the bottom right because that's all that we can do for you guys, and
we can't.
he's really far ahead.
Apparently, we can change that around. Apparently, so if you guys want to, we can try and do that. It hasn't been that anyone in the spectator tool has been leaving the race, so it hasn't come up yet. But here we go.
Okay, we can do that. Production is really popping off this week. Let's go. Love to see it as Alex is doing his farm.
So the strategy is that this has always been a thing for racing, but the strategy has always been that, like, at a certain point, you will stop getting XP and just blast through to go kill the final boss to win the race, right? Or to get to the end point of the race. And that makes sense. Like, you get enough power to be able to have the fastest possible finish. And then there's no point, like, getting a couple extra levels at the end if it's just going to slow you down and not actually going to help you at all. And generally that's level 28. Sometimes it was level 30-ish for some of the other classes that wanted a specific skill or an equip. And for the warriors, that was getting a temple maul for perfect strike, just for the giga damage, to delete bosses in 2 or 3 perfect strikes. And that is Angormus' strategy, of course, there. And but now we're seeing a complete shake-up here with Jose go through at level 23, and none of them will get any XP in Act 3, really. That is not something that people have done since week 1, when people have now kind of got it figured out a bit more that, yeah, no, there's no leveling to be done in Act 3. You're better off just kind of blasting through. They'll kill bosses, like Angormus has taken down the pair here. Let's see, double perfect strike, come on. Come on. Ooh, no, not quite. He's getting ready. A miss. Oh, there we go. There's the... Wait, no, that wasn't both.
He only needs
right.
to kill one. Yeah, that was one thing that was really surprising me. You don't actually have to kill both. You just need to kill the big guy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to me how players were killing both. But yeah, it seems like, I mean, Angormus was always killing both of them with one perfect strike. So
yeah,
I guess
which was very satisfying. But if it doesn't even need to be done, then why worry about it, right?
Right. Yeah. Jose, fighting the Chimera.
We have an update on the time differences now, but this comes with a big kind of note, which is that Angormus entered Act 3 5 minutes and 1 second behind Jose, which sounds like he lost a lot of time, right? Because it was 1 minute 40 before. But that is, don't forget, Angormus went from level 24 to 28 in that time, whereas Jose has stayed level 23. So now the question is that level difference, is the skill difference, is all the differences between them and their strategies going to make Angormus catch up 5 minutes? That sounds really hard, right? Like,
That
that's a
sounds
big
tough.
difference to catch
I
up
mean,
on,
I
isn't
was
it?
looking at Jose's Chimera kill, and I gotta say, I mean, it wasn't perfect strike, but it was still fairly quick.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but I
you've
mean, if
got a
you're
lot more RNG when it comes to this too, because the amount of strength that you're going to be getting is going
yeah.
to be so much more important. A stat that is, in a sense, negligible for Act 3 due to the fact that you're not really raking. Yeah, you do catch yourself in some situations where maybe you're in the waterways and you have to kill a pack of mobs because they're killing you when you're pulling the lever. As Angormus is getting chased down by the monkey.
And
What's
Gormus
happening
usually has
here?
such good monkey. Oh no, I don't think Gormus
He
resetting
can't
the
afford
monkey.
to do
No.
this. He
Oh,
can't afford to
he's
waste this
changing some
time.
gems around. He might have. He's. I feel like a cursor movement is a little shaky. Like he's a little nervous, mate. So
I
yeah, I
think
feel like the
so.
adrenaline's peaking
He
for
looks
Gormus
angry
right now.
now, though. Compared to before
Oh,
when he was kind of surprised, he looks pissed.
look at his monkey killing face. There's a reset.
He doesn't like
Ooh.
this.
No, he doesn't like that at all. He's going again. He had all the ads coming up, which is you just don't want them coming up on you while you're taking down monkey. Here we go. I expect a more traditional, clean monkey kill for Angormus there. He does get knocked
Nice
out of the way,
stun.
but he still lands the perfect strike. That was good. And then the finishing blow there, perfect. All right, good. After a couple little resets, not his usual monkey killing perfection, but still made it happen that third time around there.
Yeah, but this is where you're supposed to be catching up, right? We were talking about how clean Jose's monkey kill was. This is exactly these bosses are the things that are supposedly going to allow Angormus to catch up to Jose, and that wasn't the cleaner boss kill. Angormus really needs to channel his bossing skills here because he has to save his time if he's still trying to get rank 1.
Alex Pueblord
Um,
getting his Yaman Ra kill down. But I have to say, like, if it wasn't for this whole Jose mystery overshadowing it, we would be talking nonstop about Guido right now because this
True.
player has come out of nowhere to be only 1 minute behind Angormus. Like, if
Yep.
let's just forget about Jose existing for a second, the race right now would be someone who's a minute on a warrior behind Angormus. Like, what? That's insane. That's just unprecedented currently. So what is going on here? But we're not even having a second to, like, a brain cell to process that because our brain cells are being
Right.
deleted by watching Jose right now. So this is a very multifaceted race that is. It's good to take a moment to appreciate that because they are just doing ridiculously well right now. And let's see how they go with their monkey kill. And it's a warrior who's not known perfect strike as well. We have rake stomping grounds for Guido as well. So that's the Jose strategy, you could say. Maybe.
My goodness.
We'll see.
I mean, yeah, absolutely so. I mean, to highlight some numbers for you guys, the second place player in the first race that we had, not the first race overall, not the first race as in 1 week ago, they were 30 minutes behind Angormus.
Yes.
Okay, so having another player be within a minute of Angormus is extremely impressive. And another number for you guys, Jose's account is 3 days old. So, this guy really learns quick. My God. Only 3 days of practice, guys.
Well,
What's
that's
happening?
impressive. Interesting. We're gonna have some revelations about this in the future, I wonder. But interesting thing about Guido's run is that since they're not going perfect strike and they don't want that temple more, they did push through into the next act at 26, which is the more we've seen that in the past with people that did stick with Rake, especially on some of the other classes, being about that 25, 26 kind of range, which is what Guido's on right now. So that is less surprising. But this 23 push from Jose just is like blowing my mind.
From Jose23. Yeah, I see.
Yes, from Jose23, from Tie20, Havoc23. Who knows? Is it a misdirection from Havoc? I mean, like, I'm going to do it at level 23, pretend to be Tie23. Yeah, I mean, doing it at level 616 is much harder, so.
I've done a lot of commentary, and I've competed against these players too many, 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 many times in PoE 1. And I gotta say, the playstyles really don't change. I think if I were to see Havoc, I would recognize him. This is not Havoc. This is Ty. He plays like Ty in every single way. The way that he approaches itemization, the way that he's playing underleveled, the amount of time he spends in town, the way that he's just always looking to have not the fastest time, but sufficient enough time to beat out everybody else. This guy plays 1-to-1 like Tie23. I mean, Havoc is the absolute. If I had to pick another player who would be the absolute opposite of Tie23's playstyle, that would be Havoc. So he doesn't look. I mean, maybe unless they've really changed up the way that they're playing in PoE 2 compared to PoE 1, it would be.
Right now.
Yeah, it would be like that. But Jose making it over to the waterways now. A pretty challenging zone, even when players aren't under-leveled. As there we go. He makes it all the way in. And an interesting, wow, wasn't that a really long loading screen from Jose?
We have I'm getting a report that we have, so Alex Playboard on Mercenary right now is in Jungle Ruins, and there is a bit of a thing here that Whole New Society, who is someone we've seen in the past before, and often usually streams, isn't streaming this time. They're doing a little bit of off-stream kind of secret racing action, but they are actually about a minute ahead of Alex right now on Mercenary. So the competition right now for Mercenary is so 1 minute split between Alex Playboard and Whole New Society, which is an exciting race there. So if we get our Warrior finish, we might be able to swap to spectate mode with them, but we can't spectate mode 2 people right now because it's a first person in-game sort of thing. So we don't have the tech for that quite. But if we finish the race for the Warriors, then we might be able to get them on stream and kind of see the competition between Alex and Merc. So that's the plan moving forwards. But just know that right now Alex is trying to catch up to Whole New Society. So we'll keep an eye on that race in the background. I'll update you with any developments in that regard. But obviously right now the big finish, the big #1 overall name in lights, claimed 4 out of 4 times by Angormus, is under fire, under siege, under threat. I don't even feel like those terms encompass the danger that Angormus is in right now of losing his perfect streak, because that danger is very real right now.
He's genuinely been practicing PoE 2 speedrunning. Like, we're kind of, if you're maybe new to these races, we're kind of like making it seem like, yeah, we're hyping things up. But really, when it comes to the numbers, he's been practicing for 6 months straight. You can't not just show up and beat Angormus. It's not like, oh yeah, these aren't like, no, this is extremely competitive. This is a unprecedented event that we've had so far. Not just this one, but what is going on right now is pretty unprecedented.
I feel like, so for this Jose situation, I feel like you can't just come out of nowhere and have a run like this. They've had to have done some pretty serious practice. Did they attempt runs in the previous races? And they were just a bit slower. They hadn't figured it out yet. Now I want to look back at some of those, because we had some mystery players here and there that kind of popped up every so often that we didn't know who they were. So were they in any of those, or have they been doing it outside of the races only? And they've only made a showing now, race 2, season 2, that they're like, yeah, now's the time. Now's my time to take the crown. I'm ready to dethrone Angormus. I've been doing my push-ups. Or maybe they just started practicing yesterday and they're just that good.
Angormus! Angormus is dying! No. Oh, that was so close. That would have absolutely sealed the deal. What a clutch.
No, you cannot have that happen. Wow. Yeah, we usually see a lot of resetting in this zone, but not usually because of death.
Okay, I thought he lost the generator, but he picks it back up because, yeah, when you do get that reset, you can't quite get the generator, and he's resetting the zone continuously to get
that was good recovery.
To get the next soul core. But man, this gap is not decreasing. Jose struggling to get through the waterways. This zone is going to be difficult. I gotta say, his damage is still looking good, and he's he's definitely killing more than I expected. Yes, he's going to be weaker, but he's got, this is another, I can't stop yapping about it, and I won't. I'm sorry to anybody listening. He's got 858 life. That is such a Tie23 thing to do. This guy is the master of gearing. He saves himself so much time. People have studied his replays to try to keep up with the fact that somehow this guy always has more gear than everybody else. And everybody was thinking, he's just lucky. If you're consistently better geared than everybody else. Is it really luck? I don't think so. There's one defining factor. There's one constant in this, and that's Tie23. It's got to be him.
Oh my god, I just looked in his inventory and he's arranged his portal scrolls in a 23 shape in his inventory while doing the race. I'm obviously joking because there's not even any portal scrolls in this game, but
I mean, listen, I think he's making it as obvious as it gets as of right now. Thank God there's no portal.
Yeah, but it could just be a misdirection from Havoc. If I was Havoc right now, that's what I'd do. Great, mate. Ziggy plays even GGG stuff in the background.
Yeah, but honestly, Havoc is somebody who needs to put in a lot of work. He can beat anybody, I believe.
He's the
when
ultimate
Havoc
grinder.
practices, he can beat anybody,
practicer.
but he has to grind for a long time. He doesn't have that natural talent, I think, the way that somebody like Ty has, or Ty, or a lot of other really prominent players.
Yeah, he's not one of those young whippersnappers.
Angormus?
No, Angormus, no, not a waterways death run.
He's feeling it.
No,
he's feeling the heat. He's trying to rush. He's pulling those levers, surrounded by mobs. He's realizing what's going on. He thought he's going to save himself a lot of time. But he's realizing, hey, we're getting close to the finish line, and I'm not exactly getting close to this guy. Not close enough. He still has a lot of waterways to get through, and Jose is closing in on Viper. That's going to be a crazy fight, by the way.
I need to get your analysis on this. Apparently, Jose didn't do the lever skip tech, Rise. He summoned his portal after doing the lever. What do you make of this? Because
what is happening for Jose? He reset. Wait, was he drowning? I think Jose almost drowned.
Well, he did kind of hit a dead end on the right there, so it might have been just what's going on now?
Something weird is happening.
Yeah, I'm getting some spectator lag here, but it looks like he did go for a reset. It probably lags on reset from the spectator client is what's going on, I think. It's not lag. It's when he pauses. It's when he pauses the game. So if he presses escape, it pauses the game. And as a spectator, it looks like it's lagging for us. But he's actually just paused the game. So that was him logging just then. We're like resetting at checkpoint.
Right.
It looks like lag. That makes sense. Yeah, because we don't see that it's paused.
But that's a lot of time. I mean, that was a huge reset. That's a lot of time spent. He still doesn't seemingly know where he's going. And that's going to be something that Angormus is going to have a big advantage with.
Dead ends.
Because he's been practicing a lot of different layouts. These layouts change depending on what kind of league you're playing in. So the more you've practiced, the different leagues that you've practiced, the more familiar you're going to be with layouts. And that's what's happening here for Jose. Maybe the lack of practice is really coming into play. But he finally finds it.
At Rake Stomping Grounds, although it's not as good on the bosses here in Act 3, it does make clearing those... Oh my god, the Detonate Deads for Angormus. It makes clearing those packs in the waterways that get on top of the lever a bit easier. Having to go for the Bone Shatters is much harder.
Yeah.
But Angormus struggling in waterways...
Where is Jose going? I think he's trolling. And I think he's going to go kill the...
No, this is just
the side
conventional...
boss. No, he's trolling. He's literally looking for the Molten Giant thing.
No, this is...
Okay, he does find the Apex. Okay.
Yeah. No, this is exactly like... I'll tell you what this is. Like, realistically, this is literally someone who's very, very good at racing and has practiced a lot, but hasn't practiced the finishing out the Act 3s just quite as much. Like,
I think you're pretty right.
Those are some just some rough zone reads there. I am very curious now to see that we have Angormus kind of about to go there as well, getting wailed on while he does.
I mean, it does make exactly what you're saying does make sense, because whenever you're practicing, when you're resetting, naturally you're going to be getting best in Act 1 and 2, right? Act 3 is going to be the thing that you practice the least. But at the same time, I feel like with his strategy, this is going to be the most challenging part of the game for him. And really, the amount of time that he spent in that zone, it really let Angormus catch up. This is really close now. This gap is not as big. Angormus is one zone behind. And I can guarantee you, Angormus is not going to be making these mistakes when it comes to the layout reads.
Despite his upsets in Act 1, he's still only a minute 39 behind his personal best. Time splits there. He had a little bit of a rough Act 1 and Act 2, but he's still overall going very fast right now. We got Queen of Filth for Jose right now, eating a lot of damage from the slams, going extremely low. His flask is not very good. It's slow. Like, we can't see what his exact flask is. It's not a small, but it's not as good as it could be, it looks like.
Oh my,
I think there is a flask breakpoint that he's not hit because he's level 23, right? I'm pretty sure there's a flask breakpoint between 23 and 28.
I think so.
Oh, and that's costing him a bit now, but he does manage to get the stun. But Queen of Filth is going down very slowly. These are the moments where Angormus is going to catch up, because Angormus is going to come in here and he's going to two-shot her. But look, this is a fight. Mate, he's in real danger right now. He can't really take 2 hits back to back. He's kind of got her in the corner so she doesn't roll away, which is, I like this strategy so that he can just kind of keep raking away and not get harassed by the ads so much. But it's not comfortable. It's not confident. It doesn't look as practiced as it could be. It's, I think we're seeing that play out now. Like that,
you think so?
It's gotten really good, but Act 3 has gotten a little rough, but he made it happen.
To me, this looks incredibly confident. Like, the amount of HP he's got, he doesn't have a lot of damage, and yet he knows exactly the amount of damage that he can tank. Like, yes, was it sketchy for an onlooker? Sure. But did he look in control? He didn't look like he was dying at any point, really.
I pay that. Okay, fair. Like, it looks pretty nerve-wracking to us because we're used to them being so dominant in that fight with high-level perfect strike setups. But
yeah,
maybe that's exactly how you expect the level 23 rake to play out.
Like, it doesn't matter
health as a resource. Fair enough.
It doesn't matter if your HP is at 100%. It only matters if it's not at 0. And I think that was a perfect display of that. Exactly like you said, HP is a resource. And min-maxing the amount of damage you're putting out with the amount of flasks that you've got, these are the sort of things that you're going to have to do to get a really nice Act 3 run. So maybe he didn't get that good at layouts, but maybe he's just so good at bossing that, he gets the first read on the pyramid too. This is going to save Jose a lot of time.
That's good.
Because once you know where the first pyramid is, you know where the other exits are too. But the first one has a fair degree of RNG to it.
And Gomez has had a pretty good catch up through these zones, having a march
Jose,
run.
He's having to reset. He reset. He was dropping too low. He ate too much damage from the sun. No fire resistance,
going the
and it
other
cost
way.
him.
Yeah. Looking a little shaky there with the reset. Oh, getting caught in that corner there. That's a bad position to be in. Oh, it's a couple extra hits as he gets stuck in that little divot there in the map and is just getting wailed on by these. Like, I even saw some stuns going down there. But he does get the heal from the checkpoint and heads into the boss fight. The precipice of power. And Gormus on the Queen of Filth, meanwhile. Perfect strike. Looking absolutely savage there.
Look how quick this
Jose's
is.
Also on Ketsuli. I think we have to unfull screen production because we have simultaneous boss fights going on. There we go. With the unfull screen for Jose. Also on Ketsuli right now. We can try and watch both. But Angormus is having a very good Queen of Filth kill. Definitely a bit faster than Jose's was. And Jose's Ketsuli, though, is going really nicely. Honestly, this is a fight where it is a bit more difficult on Perfect Strike. It tends to move around a lot, but Stomping Grounds doesn't care. You just stay right on top of him with that rake. And look, that was really good. Yeah, I actually think so too. Like, unless you get literally perfect strikes, that was way easier, way faster.
That was so clean. I'm so impressed with this strategy.
Oh, I'm so nervous for Angormus right now.
I'm nervous for everybody. I mean, everybody, just so you guys keep this in mind, as much as we were talking about how, like, oh yeah, level 23 is so much lower than level 28, everybody is underleveled. They're in level 42 zones. That's this pyramid. So they are almost half the level of the zone. So everybody is underpowered, everybody is underleveled. So it makes it extra impressive how much damage our players are able to put out on these bosses. Don't look at the sun on Gormus. Look at Gormus's camera.
It's so bright. Right. Important update. Angormus boss fight was twice as fast at the Apex of Filth. And he's only a bit under 2 minutes behind now from a 5-minute difference before. So he's caught up 3 minutes already. Is there enough time to catch up that last 2 minutes?
But will he be able to kill the next boss faster? I don't think so. I don't know if Perfect Strike is going to be able to do it. His Viper fight is going to be easier. His Doryani fight is going to be easier. But how good is this fight going to be for Angormus here?
Viper is such a decider, I think. I think Viper is
I think
the
this is
deciding boss.
this might be it though, Ziggy. For Angormus, if he's able to kill this boss quickly, this might be the deciding factor. But how much is the boss going to move?
Ooh,
How much
Ketsui
damage
kill.
is Angormus
He's
going to
good
be
at-
able to get in?
He's very good at Ketsui. He does have to dodge the barrage there, which is a bit rough.
That's what we're talking
But
about. Look at this.
Come on.
He's not able to do damage. He can't hit. He's getting hit though. He's gonna die.
No,
Oh
the
my God.
explosion! Angormus, no, you cannot. You cannot choke this. Come on. Recover, mate. I need to see it. I'm a believer. Yes. Go the stun.
He's missing.
No.
He can't hit the boss. He's dropping low.
Oh, why didn't he's got the
This
stun
is-
trigger ready?
This is the deciding fighter. Jose is starting his Viper fight.
Bullet phase, no. And the Viper fight is starting for Jose. And go. Oh, yes. Okay, good.
If Jose can make
Don't
it
shut
through
up.
Viper, if he doesn't die, he is level 23. The zone is level 46, guys. Or like 44 or something.
And Gomes lost more time than I wanted to see on that Ketsui fight. Okay. All right. We might have a moment to full screen this Viper fight because this is pretty make or break here. This is if he's going to lose this run anywhere, it's here because this is such a hard fight for him right now. Look, he can't stay on top of her. She's just standing in that poison field and his
Nice
flask is
stun.
not good enough.
I'm on a
Bad
huge
flask is
delay,
gonna
Ziggy.
cost
You
me,
gotta
yeah.
commentate this.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm watching it live. His flask is not that good, and that is a big problem in the Viper fight because attrition has been a huge thing for so many players in that Viper fight. She's just really good with those poisons at just attritioning that health down as you eat all of those barrages, and she does things like stand on that poison, and he had to do that. The arena is closed in, which is going to make things a bit harder for him already. He's staying at half health this whole time. I'm seeing a lot of flask usage, and that flask just barely makes back half of the damage that she deals. He's going very low. She's down to 1/3, but so is he. It's
so
like
impressive.
a straight up PvP fight here. I love the Viper fight for this. He eats another barrage. He really didn't. He's pausing. Reset. Oh my God. Reset.
Viper is so
Reset.
difficult for
No.
Jose, but will it be this difficult for Angormus? This is the fight that Angormus died on last week. Okay.
He ran out of flask. No, Angormus, but he, he's practiced that so hard after that upset last week, right? And he's usually so good at Viper. He can do it. She's such a hard boss, though. She's such a hard boss. I'll tell you when he's getting to Viper so we can unfull screen, but
Angormus is progressing,
Okay.
guys. He's getting close. He's halfway through the zone.
they're
Jose.
gonna be doing Viper at the same time.
Oh, it's
Almost.
so frustrating too, because Jose has to go through the portals to get to the well.
Yeah, he has to go
They're
back.
starting the
He has to
fight
go
at the
back.
same time.
Yeah. Okay, unfull screen. Okay. Oh my God, Angormus is starting.
Angormus, if he manages to beat
Simultaneous
this boss
fights.
now, he will win.
Okay,
But if he dies, he will lose.
All right, you commentate Angormus. I'm going to commentate Jose, all right? He's
Okay,
taking
at the
so
same
much
time, let's
damage.
go.
He's taking so much damage. He's eating a lot of damage from the poison, and the shields are poking him. He ate like lightning hits. He's already used like 2 or 3 flask charges. That's not a good start for him. How's Angormus's fight going?
Angormus fight just started. He got done with the animation. Alva is successfully punched in the face, and Viper is getting successfully blasted by the perfect strikes
Okay.
from Angormus. He's practiced
Yes.
this fight. It's going well. The boss is
Oh.
already almost at half HP. The stun already happened. What kind of pattern is Angormus going to get here? A good one.
Jose's fight's going very well now since that early upset. He did use way too many fast charges early on, but this has been impeccable since then.
Angormus is having the best Viper of his life. He was getting
I
no
love to hear it.
phases.
But this fight right now from Jose is insane. He used too many fast charges early on. Does he have any more? He's got one more charge? One more, maybe? Oh, he's seeing too much poison damage. It's going to happen again. He's going to reset again. No, he can't. He can close it out. She's so far from a stun. If only he had a stun right now. No, she's on the
is
wall.
finishing his fight.
And Angormus he's almost there. He's got like a 10% health
Dropping
left, but
low.
I think he's out of charges. He does it. He just manages to clutch it at the last
They both
second.
do it at the
there.
same time. They did it at the same time.
What?
Okay, but Jose is supposed to be weaker. How are they still able to do it like this? Angormus entered the fight before Jose. If we don't include the
Amazing.
reset.
I'm so glad we have 2 commentators right now, right?
Oh my god. This is so neck and neck when it really shouldn't be. How is Jose doing this?
Yes, in
Who is
theory
this
right
guy?
now, Like, Angormus's power advantage is going to just eke him out that win, but literally any slight mistake from either of them is going to... Oh, no, careful, Jose. He's getting stuck in some of the packs of mobs there in that... We've got this little highway here. Get a clean
You
run
guys
through
have to
it.
excuse us. We know that Guido is incredibly... Oh, Guido's got a unique box. Let's go. He skips it. Guido is so close to Viper, it's not even funny. And that's really exciting, too. But
It's
this
insane.
Jose and Gormus battle... is insane.
Yeah, no, like I said, if Jose wasn't here, we would be talking about how Guido has come out of nowhere to be almost catching up and beating and putting actual real pressure on Angormus. But it just so happens in that same race where that would be incredible, at the same time, we also have a neck-and-neck race between Angormus and mystery player Jose. Havoc, Tie23, someone else, who knows. But right now, their run through Agarat has been perfect. Clean zone reads, great movement, not getting caught by any packs. How is Angormus looking over there?
But look at the movement. Jose is just faster. He's just better at moving. Yes, he might have a weaker character. Yes, he might do less damage.
Oh, those shield charges are amazing. Yeah,
this is the racing prowess of an experienced player. Look at how much faster he is going than Angormus.
He's first in the Black Chambers. He picked up 10 seconds there. Yeah, I was trying to put it out earlier actually, but his shield charging, Jose's shield charging has been incredible. Like there are zones where you just don't shield charge, and like he just shield charged around a door. I didn't even realize you could do that.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. This guy is coming up with new tech
and stop normally, right? Like, how does he do that? He shield charges in a way like I didn't even know you could shield charge. So he's just a bit better with that shield charge and animation canceling, and Angormus is so good at that. So that's insane.
And again, the players have the same layouts, guys. So this really does boil down to skill. It's no randomness. 100%. Jose running into a little bit of a wall there.
Okay.
Will Angormus run into the same wall?
First checkpoint for Jose. The exact same time. Oh my god, it's like split.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
We've had some close races. We've had literally players finish with the exact same time.
Boss fight time starting for Jose.
Both of them.
With Angormus 2 seconds behind, maybe? It's almost a simultaneous start here.
2 seconds behind, but 5 levels behind.
Yes.
What can Jose do here?
How strong is the Rake Stomping Grounds? How good is his skill compared to Angormus now? Because Angormus is so good at this fight. Oh my god. Let's see. We're about 1/3 down. A slight health lead, maybe. Remember, there's probably a little bit of a stream delay, so it's maybe even closer than it looks. It's basically exactly the same. We are not going to know until after the race, I don't think.
Jose is really doing more damage.
It's good.
He's getting really ahead. Good.
It's so much better than I expected.
Both players with the laser phase.
Yep.
So they're going to have to wait that out. So this is something that's advantageous for Angormus. Because it started at a similar time. There is a fair degree of randomness there. So it's going to allow Angormus to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, the animation for the robot summon is kind of already going for Jose though, so I think he gets a little bit of an advantage for that. Yeah, he's gonna have a.
But Perfect Strike has to be better at the second phase.
Yeah, it's surely. But can it? But I feel like there's 5 seconds difference. Can it make that up?
Jose can tank more though. He's got more HP. He's got a stronger character. He seemingly should be doing less damage, but is he?
Yeah. Levels don't matter, right? It's crazy. Okay, building up first stun from Jose. Good. Has to only dodge a slam. No real issues there.
And Gorma's getting really ahead. Really far ahead, too. And he started behind. I think Gormas has this.
No. Angormus is pulling ahead just ever so slightly. The health bar is just going. Like that lead is just pushing a little further each time. Every perfect strike, he jumps ahead just a little bit. No.
Invulnerability.
No. It can't all come down to this. 5 levels difference, 5 minutes difference, 5 minutes caught up to win for 5 seconds difference, maybe? He's losing so much time.
He's got it. He won. Angormus has it.
Oh my god.
It's done.
Angormus. Still.
He actually pulled out the win in the end. How? I mean, I thought that for the second phase, perfect. I did think the perfect strike is going to be better for the second phase, but I didn't think to this degree. I mean, Jose is still doing his fight.
But really, this is 10 seconds, right? This is 10 seconds about. That Viper reset is what it came down to in the end. Like if he had a cleaner Viper fight, if he got it that first time like he did the second time was very confident. If he got it like that the first time around, I don't think he would have been able to catch up. That was 15 seconds.
You know what the worst part about this is? We will never find out who Jose was now. Because if he would have won, then we would have known it's Tie23. But I gotta give props to Angormus.
Next race?
I will confidently say, although speculating, that this was Tie23. I have not seen Tie23 lose a race. I've never seen him lose a race since he won his first race. He's never lost a race since he's won his first race.
Angormus.
So huge props to Angormus. Not just for being the 5th time winner.
Yeah. But like
but also,
it's such a hard thing to have a situation like this happens where you have such a rattling early game. Like tilt, right? He should have tilted harder than he did. And he knew that he was being beaten. Like that he was actually all of a sudden.
Right.
From talking to him recently, he's like, yeah, the next person's like 5 minutes behind me. It's like, maybe if they practice real hard, they might kind of get close. But now it's like, oh, shit.
Man, Guido
I feel like we saw his best back three ever.
Yep.
To do that under pressure rather than to tilt and lose it and make more mistakes. We saw some shaky cowsing movement, right? Like, holy. Yeah, Guido. And
he's raking.
Guido has just been overlooked when normally he would be the star of today's race because, outside of Angormus winning, obviously, because he was so close to Angormus. So close to Angormus. This is just only moments behind. Closest that we've had, I think, to Angormus, maybe
and
ever.
Guido is raking. He's not using perfect strike.
Yeah, this is a level 26 rake kill, I believe. And in theory, probably a little bit stronger than Jose's was. Maybe a little faster in the second phase.
I think this is the better strategy. I mean, it clearly needs more work, but Angormus is he's just better. But I think this is the better strategy. Even if Angormus had the better result.
Yeah, I mean, Angormus has tested both, and he decided to stick with the perfect strike strategy. But I do wonder if we'll see him review that for week 3. The week 3 is going to be wild to see. Like, will we see this Jose return?
That's kind of the thing, though, right? Many of these strategies that Angormus deemed the best, other players copied. They didn't put in the effort to actually test their own strategies. And most of these strategies Angormus was testing many months ago. So it kind of went from this one thing where everybody was thinking that Warrior is unplayable, to Warrior can't even kill bosses, to Warrior actually being the best class in the game, to Warrior being the fastest class in the game. And now we've got yet another adjustment and change and a difference in approach. And I gotta say, more than anything, as much as we're still finishing up and we're still getting demis and our players are still getting rank 1s and all these sort of things, I am so excited for next week. We've got another race next week.
I am wide awake now.
New strategies and new excitement. Yeah, I am wide awake too. It's midnight and I won't be able to sleep. I'm going to be dreaming of Jose.
Absolutely. The final times for Angormus was 1 hour and 49 minutes and 5 seconds, which I need to compare that to his personal best because Ang's fastest was 141, was it? I need to double check that time. 145 was his average. So 149 is definitely a little slower than Angormus's average. He can definitely pull out a faster race than this. We did see on his timer that he was a few minutes behind. But I have to say, like, surprisingly, the fight ended up being 43 seconds difference. Jose 43 seconds behind.
It's so funny if you look at
the simultaneous.
If you look at what Sarge is doing, he's going through the waterways right now, and same from Worm, and they're just repeatedly resetting, repeatedly dropping to low HP. We really can't emphasize enough how incredible that waterways run was from both Jose and Angormus.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at the other players who are fairly close to our rank 1s over here, you can see so much more struggle happening for
Congratulations
them.
to Guido for taking third place warrior. Like, absolutely phenomenal run. Like we said, it would have been just absolute star of the show any other week, but they picked the week that Jose decided to come and make their first showing. So exciting times for warrior competition right now, and exciting time for other class competition as we do have some very close races. And yeah, like you said, like Angormus's water rain one, it could have gone any other way because he almost died in waterways twice, and that would have been then Jose would have won. Even a reset in waterways would have cost him.
It's gotta be. This is not a coincidence. Okay, Guido is not a 3 days old account. He's actually got like an 11-year-old account or something.
Yes,
in PoE.
he does.
So he's
This
not
is
a new player, but to have the same strategy as Jose, and we haven't seen anybody come even remotely close.
They're both Tie23? Is that what you're saying? The conspiracy demons?
I'm thinking there could actually be some, they could be in cahoots, is what I'm saying. They could be in cahoots.
Practice buddies, maybe, do you think?
Possibly so. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, we definitely saw so many new strategies. We didn't focus as much on Guido, so I can't tell you how many new strategies we saw from Guido. But the things that Jose was doing, the skipping with the doors, the skipping with the checkpoints, like this guy is clearly figuring out things on his own, using a lot of Path of Exile 1 strategy and approach, and some of the skips that he should know about, he didn't. Like, for instance, the waterway skip. And some of the skips that we didn't know about, he did know. So he's kind of doing his own thing, and it was almost good enough to beat out Angormus.
Whole New Society did reset and log out, or died on Viper and logged out and maybe quit. They were having a pretty good run, and
that
then
happened before with them.
Fight. Yeah, I think
they quit before. I remember they were rank 1 sorceress and then quit. They never finished the race. I think that was the second or maybe the third race that we had. So this is not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, you get some players where that's kind of their thing, right? Like they have a big upset and they can't, they tap out for it. Sometimes they're some of the best players too. It's like, oh man, if you just kind of like sent it, because sometimes they throw a win away too with that.
I remember that happened. You remember when that happened with Ben for one of the qualifiers for ExileCon 2? He straight up died to chickens, the classic chicken rip from Ben, and he deleted his character, and he still could have won.
Yeah,
he could have qualified, but he was like, "Nah, this is not good enough. I'm not deserving of this." And he straight up deleted his character.
It's not my best. Yep, log out. And I think you just saw that from Whole New Society. So if you're wondering why they were frozen, seemingly, it's because the spectator client was like, it's stuck there because they had logged out. They got logged out, deleted the character, they're gone. So they're out of there. Meanwhile, we have Arco and Huntress taking down Doryani right now, and Alex Pleblord as well. So let's see how Arco and Alex Pleblord go. Arco on the Huntress and Alex Pleblord on the Mercenary. These, just checking the ladder, should be our first kills for either of them. With the second Huntress being Worm still a ways behind, Arco has this potentially in the bag, despite, except for maybe any major upsets. And Alex Pleblord having a very clean second phase. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Alex is rolling into the butt laser. Before players were like frantically running away from it, but now everybody recognizes the strategy really is to, eat a little butt laser.
A little butt laser. It is 2025, so fair enough. Eat a little butt laser.
Hey, Ziggy, wow. I wasn't expecting. Listen, I wasn't going to go with that joke, but I see you're really committed. I can respect this, Ziggy. I'm a bad influence.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rise. I'm the picture of innocence. Alex Pleblord having a very nice Doryani. He is forced away by a laser explosion combo with the orbital beams, straight into another explosion phase here. So he has to do even more dodging. The boss is saying, I don't care that I have 10% health. It's going to be 30 seconds before you get a chance to finish me. And Alex goes in, and another explosion. He's not actually getting a chance to finish Doryani's. Doryani's is pulling out everything he can to try and prevent this kill. But Alex says, I don't care, and does get the fight and gets the mercenary win there, I believe, as well. Very nice. Yeah, there it is. Alex secures the mercenary win. We also had Mostly Works and Lundberger finish on Warriors, as well as his 4th and 5th Warriors, respectively, with times of 157 in each of them. So,
yeah, this
was nice fast runs. overall.
This so far has been definitely our most challenging race to cast. You know, a player that I was really
So
excited
good.
for, the Shackle coach, who we basically didn't end up
Yeah, we lost him.
seeing at all because of the amount of contenders that we had this week. It's really
Yeah.
amazing to see so many
He's
new
got
faces,
potential.
but then also so many competitive participants.
Congrats to Alex Pleblord for taking the mercenary win. Just a dang good racer.
Nicely done.
Despite my earlier comments, which are
And
obviously
the first
tongue-in-cheek, but I'm
non-warrior.
not practicing. They're very good. They're
True,
very
true.
good, and they do practice, but not quite grinding as hard as Angormus, which is tough to
Nah,
do.
I hate
He's a
Alex now.
grinder.
Thank you, Ziggy. Thank you for opening my eyes.
Sorry, I feel like I have to send Alex an apology after this. I was just messing around. I love you, Alex. You're amazing, dude. Oh,
I hate him.
Meanwhile, the Huntress Arco taking down Doryani as well. Very well done. Actually, a bit of a Huntress. I mean, Arco carrying Huntress up the pack last week. Ranger was beating Huntress. Now we have Warrior Merc Huntress instead of Warrior Merc Ranger as the top three. So congratulations to the number one Demigod win Huntress for Arco. Very nicely done. And we're going to go check in and see some of the others still to be decided is which we have not even seen in this race. Sorceress and Monk. And of course, our Ranger.
And again, huge props to Alex for being
Can we
the
just get our
first
Ranger
non-warrior.
I think we just saw our Ranger finish. Was that Kiom
nice.
just getting the Ranger finish just now in the spectator client? Wait, no. What are we seeing right now? What am I seeing on the stream?
We're seeing Arco, yes, getting Huntress.
I think the name hasn't changed
Kiom fight
yet.
Viper.
That must have been. Oh wait, it might be the name being different. That was Arco. That was Arco. I got tricked.
Yeah.
All right, Kiom is now on fighting Viper. Okay, and they're our Ranger. Let me see if I can get spectate on them as well. First person. Their name is Don't Do Stupid expletive. So they were reminding themselves about what needs to be done.
Bunka dropping extremely low there. The waterways just being such a difficult zone.
Good to see Bunker here again. Bunker has consistently been a top racer, and we're seeing them taking the lead on Witch right now. And Sarge also fairly consistently being one of the best Monk players. He is up there on the Monk
apparently
right now.
We have Rark Moblocks
What?
being the rank 1 Monk. Sarge is being beaten.
But not very much. That's interesting. Who is currently leading out of Rark and Kiom? And is Rark streaming, I wonder? I don't think they are.
No, he's the Monk. Is he beating out Sarge? Sarge is fighting.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's next overall, like if we want to spectate them in the client. We want to try and get
I really wonder. Sarge is fighting Quetzal. Again, he is the 4-time rank 1 Monk player.
He's good.
Will Sarge be able to get his demi this time? Or is he going to get beaten out by another Monk?
Yeah,
that'll be really impressive.
Ahead of Kiom, we'll check in on them because it would be good to see their finish. We don't want to miss any finishes this week if we can help it. And so far, we're good. We've got everyone so far. Let's see if we can get right.
Kiom is rank 1 Ranger right now, right? So we kind of don't want to be. Oh, but we can only spectate one person. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm going to check. Okay, so we got just entering Black Chambers for Kiom. And if I check in on Rark, who is character name Hellrake, they are in the Black Chambers. Ooh, it's going to be a little close. Wait. They had to reset on the boss. Yeah. Spectate Rark. Please production. Bring Rark up. They had to reset on Doryani.
Not even close. It's not even close then. Sarge is nowhere remotely close. He hasn't even done Viper. So
Sarge, who has been dominating Monk, right, is now under fire from Rark, who is playing on character named Hellrake.
I mean, this is the thing that I was talking about before. Sarge, known to be a player who puts in a lot of work, a lot of effort, but he was at the top. He let a little loose, he ate a couple hot dogs on the weekend, and now he's getting beaten out by a new contender, Rark, showing up on the Monk, possibly getting rank 1. I mean, it's really not close. Sarge is nowhere even remotely close to Doryani. So unless Rark dies a bunch of times, which we have seen a Monk die to Doryani like 4 times in a row, and that Monk might just so happen to be Sarge. If that happens to Rark, I mean, Oh, the damage is
Rock
so good.
Yeah, Rock I've seen a little bit before, but I've not seen them being such a dominating position before, so this is exciting to see. Lots of changes across the field for new and upcomers, new races coming out of nowhere to be very good. Oh, eating some laser there. I don't really want to be doing that. Moving into the second phase here at the end of the laser fight, if we can just get a little bit more damage on there, you'll lock it in and get that animation started as soon as possible. Just losing a few seconds. Not too bad, though. Going to have a chance to clean up those crystals while not being under fire from second phase is good. And moving into second phase, production, warning to prepare your input into the chat for spectate don't do stupid because we're going to want to swap to them right away because I expect they'll be on their Doryani fight just after this. So, yep, we're going to be keeping an eye on Rock right now. He's trying to close out Doryani on Monk, and then we just swap back to Ranger. Yes.
Sarge is a prominent ALK LFG user. Every time he won, he ALK LFG'd. I wonder if he's going to ALK LFG when Rock beats him. That's the real question. That's what I want to know. I'm tuning in. Is he going to ALK LFG? Does he even know?
This is a very clean start to the Doryani fight. Some pretty smooth dodges. Not quite getting full DPS uptime, but getting a good stun and getting a good chance to get Doryani down to the halfway point here. Pretty good. Having to.
He's literally LFGing right now.
Not losing much time.
He hasn't even lost yet, and he's out LFGing. You guys can't see, but he's doing
preemptively. Does he know? Does he know that Rock has this in the bag? Rock eats a bit of an explosion, eats that shock. Shock wears off before the second explosion comes down, so he's okay. A nice shield charge out of the way of the big slam. That's good. Managing the orbital strikes well, getting straight back onto damage there, right underneath Doryani. I liked that. Swinging already the moment they were ready to go. Maintaining that perfect damage there. Ooh, does eat a couple of those little explosions, just attritioning down those flasks a little bit, but I don't expect it'll be too much of a problem here as they're closing out the fight. And, ooh, yeah, nice big stun while Doryani is shocked. Ooh, that's good stuff. Oh, not actually shocked. There's a shock animation on him, though. I was just because he was charging up for his ability when he got stunned. Okay, then Doryani pulling out all the tricks once again to make sure that they don't go down without a fight. And Rock does manage to get number 1 kill for Monk, beating out Sarge, who previously had 4 out of 4 demis. Yep. Maybe? Is that right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Sarge, congratulations, it wasn't even Rock. Close. Well done.
Very nice. So good that people stopped playing Monk, and he's nowhere close this week.
Not Rock. All right, swap. Production. Swap. The Ranger, last 20%.
Here we go.
Same thing. Here we go. All right, we're on the Ranger. It says Rock up top, but this is the Ranger. The character names. What was their cut name? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's too many names.
Listen, I can't do any of the spectating stuff, so good luck, guys.
I gotta catch my breath for a second. Okay, they got the Doryani kill. Well done. That is our first Ranger kill. All I've got their name is the they got the don't do stupid shit is their name, their character name. What was the actual account name again? Oh my god. Who was we have some contention on the kill for the Ranger, because there's Pathfinder as well.
I love how you made a butt-eating joke, Ziggy, but then you didn't want to say shit.
Wait. Uh-oh. While we were watching the Rock Monk kill, Limes on a Pathfinder snuck in and got the kill on a Pathfinder, beating out the Ranger we just witnessed finish their kill almost simultaneously.
Ziggy, we cannot consider this a personal failure. You said we're not gonna miss any of the kills.
We can't spectate 3 people at the same time.
That sounds like a you issue. I don't know. Listen.
Oh, skill issue. Skill issue. Oh, we tried so hard, chat. We got so close. We almost had it. I thought we had it.
This might be the last race where it was even humanly possible, because people are getting way too competitive this time around.
We had the benefit of people finishing 5 minutes apart before, not anymore. Limited by the technology of our time. Exactly. No, production did an amazing job. They were on it. True. But while we were watching the Rock fight, Pathfinder Limes snuck in, got the Pathfinder / Ranger Demigod's kill, of course. The Ascendancies count as the subclass. And then the Ranger just finishing shortly after. Wow. Not a lot of
It's
time in it,
close.
just the 1 minute difference there, just the actual time of the boss fight itself. So that does secure the Ranger. We still have Witch and Sork to go. So
And
what's the
also
playing field look like for them right now, Rose?
another note on the Ranger. Not only were they 1 minute apart between Guillaume and Limes, but also Huaxin finished about 40 seconds later too, 50
Wow,
seconds.
yeah, I see
So
that now.
Ranger getting really heavy this week.
Three players with very close finish times for Ranger. And actually, Ranger
Mhm.
has been a competitive
Oh, coach!
class. Oh
Mr.
no, the
Shakal.
death! Oh, Shakal, we got them back on stream. Finally, just in time to see them die to Doryani. But they're at Doryani now is a good effort. So their earlier death, they came
I
back from
think
very
it was
nicely.
one of those situations where he actually thought that he was tanking a calculated amount of damage. You can see him pointing to his resistances, and it
Slight
actually
miscalculation.
wasn't. It was a slight miscalculation, or it was one of those rare 5% crits. Because that happens, you know. Yeah, HP is a resource. Yeah, you got to tank some things on purpose. But yeah, sometimes you get hit by a 5% crit, you know, and you die.
That is the thing. You gotta take that into account for your calculations, I guess. But yeah, do you take that gamble? Right, 1 in 20. Sometimes you
He
want to
did.
take that gamble.
And again, props to him because he's sticking with Warrior. He's practicing the most competitive class. He's sticking with it and improving every week. So nicely
I
done.
can only admire that. That is braver than I would be. I would pick the least competitive class. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Bunker is
Okay,
currently
I
the
can't
first
tell
and
if
only
you're a
witch to.
robot or if I'm a robot, Ziggy.
Whoa, robot rise. Hold on, or is that me? Who's roboting currently? That was Raz. Okay, I'm okay then. I didn't want to keep talking in case I was full robot mode for stream. I think Rise crashed. No, come back, Rise. Rise will try and be back as soon as he can, folks. Bunker, the first and only witch to exit the Apex of Filth, so currently a good shot at winning. We've got Worm GG, who have been very impressed with their race. Currently fighting Viper. And let's see how the fight's going for them. It looks like they've got Viper down to about just under the halfway point and still have a lot of their flask intact. 784 health, looking pretty confident here. This is looking like a very good Viper kill for them. But just a few of those like poison barrages from Viper can, each one of those drains a flask charge. It only takes a couple. Only just gets slightly jagged by the edge of that one there. Oh, doesn't quite time the dodge rolls. I feel like those dodge rolls, spins in place, look fancy, but aren't quite as confident as I'd like them to be. But the important one is that you dodge that last shield spikes from the
I'm
edge
back.
of the arena there.
What happened?
Welcome back, Rise. You're back just in time for Worm, who's taking on Viper right now. And we get a log out. We get a reset. We get a checkpoint reset from Bunker, getting caught by a pack through the Matlin. Oh wait, what's it called? This place. On the way to Viper, that area. But Worm losing a lot of time here to some unfortunate phases from Viper. Let's see if he gets that dodge on the spikes again. Does nail all of the dodges so far this time. Yeah, confident for that last one. That's the one that really matters in the end.
Oh wow, Sarge is still fighting Viper. I think he's mad. Oh no, wait, he finished his fight. I think he died to the mobs after.
Gets his revenge after a death to Doryani earlier. Does get his kill at 2 hours and 12 minutes and 11 seconds for a newcomer to the racing scene. An exceptional effort. He doesn't look super thrilled with it. I think maybe a little bit upset with the deaths and the mistakes. And you know, you can only look at those are the things that stand out to you, right? The mistakes. But overall, a very good race. And they're someone we're keeping a close eye on because they've came out of nowhere.
He can hear us too.
A really good job. Yeah, hi Shakal, you've done an amazing job, mate.
We're keeping an eye on you
about it. Yeah, we're watching you. We're watching you, mate. You've done a good job. You've done a good job. Keep going. Keep practicing. All right.
Wait, he's looking at the VOD. He's not even listening to the live stream.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Fun.
Oh,
Worm gets the Viper kill in the end. The last phase there did take a while, but overall, a pretty confident kill. And otherwise, we have Bunker now on the Witch, taking down Viper 2. So this is a Witch we're seeing stick with Stomping Grounds instead of go the Infernalist route that we saw a bit of last week. Who was doing that? Was Bunker doing that strategy last week, or did they go for the Rake Stomping Grounds, or have they changed strategy from last week?
I can't remember. We had one player doing the Rake and one player doing the and the Infernalist, I guess, the demon mommy. But I gotta say that the rake definitely looked. I mean, I don't know if it looked better, but it definitely looked competitive, and the amount of time that you spent in. Wow, what an unfortunate pattern for Bunka.
Hello.
Because Viper's positioned exactly on the ads, and she wasn't moving. So every time he tried to hit Viper, he was getting poked by the ads.
We have Aperion on Doryani at the moment. I'm trying to get spectating on them personally, but I don't have the right name. But they are the first place sorceress at the moment in second phase. Doryani right now, and seemingly doing a pretty good job of it. Here we go. Let me get their actual name so I can spectate. Thank you, team. Oh,
Bunka,
can I get it in time before the end of the fight?
So heavy. What is going on in this fight? He is not potting, but he's so low. Any ability is going to kill him here. He's having to dodge so much. At this point, you might as well reset. I mean, that was just such an unfortunate pattern. He is very slowly regenerating with the very little available sustain that you get from your skill tree in Path of Exile 2. And I mean, props to him. He's not dying, but the damage output is severely hindered. He's going to have to do another flying face here. Bunka staying in. Ooh, nicely rolling. Good reaction times as I caster curse him. Oy, okay, he's good. Okay. Dodging the barrage. Last flask. Low HP. Is this going to be a reset or will he commit? Another flying face. He gets the stun in. Bunka. Will he be able to finish Viper here for the witch kill? Getting ever so closer to Doryani. No flasks left. Last 20% remaining. Viper goes in the air. And this is the worst, the most challenging part of this fight when the room gets really small. Oh my, what is even happening? The ads are trying to poke him from a distance while simultaneously doing the mechanic. This is getting incredibly chaotic for Bunka. He manages to get through it, drops down a totem, trying to do as much damage as possible to Viper. But Viper fighting back. No recovery, no flasks for either one of our NPCs.
Aperion managed to slowly eke out a kill, just doing everything right to just stay in the fight. They're definitely looking a bit underpowered, but they got it done. They got it done. Congratulations to Aperion for taking first sorceress, I believe. I'll double check and confirm. But take us back to Bunka.
I'm so committed to this fight. I'm so
Bunka.
He's almost got it. It's dropping low. They're ranging each other, but he's getting off screen. Nice dodge from the snake. He couldn't even see that. But so low. The clutch, will it come out or will there be another face? Oh no, she dropped the sticky icky on the ground and now he can't do the ooey gooey to her. Oh my, he's gonna die. There's no way.
Come on, close it out. You can do it.
The ads are poking.
No, don't get poked by the shields. He can't afford any. No, you're standing on the shield. Don't stand on the shield. Oh my god, gets it with 78 hit points to spare.
Incredible.
It's more than zero. It's you gotta have at least one. Look, they had 77 hit points to spare. That was intensely close.
That was an insane fight from Bunka. So nicely played. I don't think it was particularly efficient, but my god, Giga Chad.
We love an exciting, thrilling fight, which is the only one under contention now, I believe, at this point. I'm just trying to double check to see.
And we get a nice statistic from production: 240 seconds spent with Viper for Bunka.
I think the only term for that is grueling. Grueling fight with Viper.
I like
that. Absolutely.
How long was? Can we have a? Can't quite find it. How long was the fight for Angormus? On Viper.
Oh yeah, that'd be
even more for Jose.
Yeah,
I think it was posted earlier, but I already forgot it.
Aperion was indeed the #1 sorceress, finishing at 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 51 seconds. Which, comparing to my notes, last time's was Bunka with. Wait, Bunka was on Sork last week and is now Witch, right? That's interesting.
Was it? Wasn't okay? The chat lied to me.
Did I get it
Chat was adamant that Bunka was the Infernalist with the demon money form last week.
It's possible I made a mistake in my notes, but
it's possible chat lied.
Yeah, we might have
I've
to
never
double
seen
check that.
chat wrong though, so this must be deliberate.
We've got the Sorceress last time was Bunker. Yeah. Sorceress win last week was Bunker, and now Bunker is going for the Witch win. It's almost like they knew that someone else was going to win Sorc this time, so they swapped the Witch. to get they wanted demis from each class, maybe. I look forward to them going for the Warrior one later on. If so.
And Gormus did Viper in 61 seconds. Bunka did it in
Wow.
240 seconds, so 4
3
times
minutes
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, 4 minutes? Oh my god.
No, 4 times. 4 times faster.
4 times faster, not 3 times. 4 times. Oh my lord. That's wild. Okay, we have Bunker going in now and making their final approach to Doryani. Meanwhile, Worm,
and this is our final class too.
Yes, and Bunker
Only
is
Witch.
Attempting to take the demigods for the Witch. We'll see if we can get a report from production behind the scenes if there's any other witches that are kind of close to see if they're under any threat there. But we do have Worm GG down there in the bottom right as well, which had phenomenal. I was really, really impressed with Act 1 and 2, but did fall behind in Act 3. And obviously now is a little ways behind, but still excited to see their future potential as a racer because they were showing some like real skill, like real refined racing skill there as well. But full screening now for our final finish here.
Yeah, I figured we might as well.
The Witch. Yeah,
since it's our last remaining class, no other witches are closed. Bunka,
we got a bit of picture action for a second there.
Exciting Viper fight. Hopefully, his Doryani is going to be well. I mean, I say hope. I was thinking hopefully it's going to be a little bit more boring, but let's be real. Hopefully he's going to die like 8 times, and we're going to spend the rest of the night looking at this.
Hopefully.
Sorry, Bunka.
A bit of last minute skill changes here. All right, cool. Getting some support gems. I can't read just by the pictures. There was brutality being taken out, I think there. It's not in my language. But
you can't
moving to first base.
Come on, Ziggy.
A bit of totem action there. A bit of totem.
Yeah, we've seen that. It's kind of interesting. In PoE 1, there's been a long-standing debate when it comes to using Holy Totem in Act 1 or not using Holy Totem. And in the end, it kind of boiled down to preference. And we're kind of seeing that here where a lot of players are using the totem for the fights, especially the Rake players. Ooh, as Bunkai, it's a giant laser. But we still see, I think, Gormus not using it, and many other players not using the totem either. So interesting. I think Jose wasn't using the totem as well. So I wonder if that might have made all the difference for his kill. That actually might have.
Is on their way to securing second place Sorc in the background there, but there are no strong witch contenders for Bunker. Bunker is a lone wolf here, taking the crown for Witch, it seems, with the next person probably a few minutes behind. So as long as they get themselves, not a series of deaths situation here, which has happened before, we should see hopefully a second phase kill here for Bunker in just a moment to try and
911 HP, or HP, but also he's got a pretty substantial amount of energy shield. I think 50 something. Wow, so much gems
Witch right there. Oof, that's a lot of health. Yeah. Certainly a lot more than we've seen on the Infernalists in the past, which has been, we've had some really sketchy, like, I feel like 300 hit point Infernalist kills of Doryani and stuff. Like, you can't make any mistakes.
Yep. And the deeper we got into, the less, because initially players were getting a lot of energy shield, but eventually people were like, yeah, I'm just not going to get hit. It's not worth the time to itemize, so I might as well just not get hit. But laser coming out. Nicely dodged by Bunka, but not quite rolling into the laser, so a little bit of optimization maybe for next week. Will he be tanking this attack? Nope. Dodges. Plays it safely. This was the ability that killed Shakal, but then many of our other players have been tanking it, primarily Angormus and Jose.
Slight gamble. They're doing a good job keeping that totem up, so they're definitely favoring the totem, and the totem is tanking all of the abilities. Tank the butt laser, tank the explosion.
Oh, no. Production just ruined the stream. They pointed out the fact that there's a lime green cursor.
What? I love the lime green cursor. I mean, pink cursor is better objectively, but lime green cursor, it stands out. I like it. Visibility. Yo, nice stun there.
I'm throwing up. You're sick.
I'd like to point out that the totem was inside Doryani's head, and you could see it through that like empty section there, which is kind of fun. It's like it impaled itself on the totem. It's like, that's a new strategy right there. Yo, Bunker getting a very nice little last section of Doryani here. Just positioning perfectly. I feel like they've had really good DPS uptime. Not really like wasting any time whatsoever. And just greedily close out the last bit there. Yep, not even worried about the orbital strike. Nicely done. Bunker closes out, which closing out race 2 season 2. And oh my god, what a race. We can wrap it up. Production now for our final words. That was amazing. What
that was the best race we've had. Sorry for the really chaotic casting towards the end, guys, but there was just way too much going on. Pretty much, I was so baffled and just stumped by what happened with Angormus and Jose and everybody getting so close. What a intense race. Love to see it for PoE2.
Jose comes out of nowhere, mystery player, possibly Tie23, possibly Havoc, possibly someone we don't even know. Certainly that mystery is going to be keeping me awake for the next week until the next race. I hope we see them again next week. It looked like Angormus was going to lose his crown, lose his perfect streak of wins, which would have been a momentous occasion. At the same time, we're having Guido come up and present a real threat to Angormus as well. So Angormus is being attacked from both sides there.
You guys didn't see it, but Worm just got blown up. Sorry, guys. I'm still watching the feed, and Worm definitely died. So a little bit something to practice for him for next week. A lesson learned.
Despite the chaos, Angormus's win this week was faster than his win last week. It was 1 hour 49 and 5 seconds compared to 1 hour 53 and 53 seconds, which means that Angormus now holds the overall world record and the top time for the races across the 3. And as far as classes are concerned, I think we have... Do we have the top times for I think the Merc 206 finish by Raak today is probably the new top time for Merc as well. I anticipate that most of the finishes today are probably the fastest times compared to last week, since that seems to be the trend there. But just like so much more competition pretty much across the board, everyone getting so much faster. We're finishing these races sooner and sooner every week, right?
Yep.
Each week's new record, yeah. What is next week going to be like? Because we know Angormus can go faster. Can Jose
even
as well.
This week's record run by Angormus, 1 hour 49 minutes and 5 seconds. I believe that's faster than his personal best from last week, right? I think so.
Yeah, his personal best from last week. I think he's got a faster personal best this week. So, and surely his next week personal best will be even faster, right? So, will he be able to pull that out in the actual race for us? And
I think it has to be, because
can Jose do that? What's Jose's personal best? I don't know. He doesn't. He's not. This is someone we don't even know who this is. So
yeah, and we're not even familiar with Jose's strategy either. So I can't even tell. Was he having a good run? Was this a rough run? Yeah. People were saying that he was really struggling in waterways. I noticed that he spent a lot of time in waterways. I mean, it also might have boiled down to the drowning city that he ended up getting lost in and spending a lot of time there. It could have made all the difference. These are not mistakes he's going to be making next week. So good luck to Angormus and everybody else competing, because Jose is in.
I want to give a special shout out to production for doing a fantastic job with such a chaotic race. The new tech being able to peek in on people we wouldn't have been able to see. We wouldn't have been able to do this race last season, because we wouldn't have watched Jose. Would have been like, oh, someone had a really fast finish, and that would have been the end of the story. But now we got a full story out of this race. So exciting times, and the tech is improving week by week too. So thanks very much, production. You're doing an amazing job. We have increased staff giving you stats and things like that in the background. You're all amazing. Beautiful. And thank you all for watching the race. I hope to see you at the same time next week for the grand finale of this season's Dawn of the Hunt, Path of Exile 2 speedrunning races. I'm ZIGGYD, joined by RaizQT. And thank you very much for watching, folks. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.